Timmy loved socks, especially his favorite pair. One striped like a zebra, the other polka-dotted like a giggling giraffe. But every morning, one sock would vanish. Timmy checked under the bed, behind the laundry basket, even inside the cookie jar just in case. Nope, gone. One night, Timmy decided to stay awake and catch the thief.
At exactly 14 a.m., he heard it. Rustle, rustle, snicker. Snicker.
Peeking out, saw him wearing a tiny detective hat, tiptoeing out of his closet with a polka-dotted sock stuffed in his backpack.
Hey, that's my sock.
Officer Bandit, at your service. This sock, evidence.
So what?
Turns out, your shoe ran away with Mrs. Fluffernutter's slipper. They're eloping in the dryer vent.
So, you're stealing my socks to solve crimes?
Borrowing, and I always return them eventually. Last week's Argyle pear is currently undercover as a mouse hammock.
Fine. But can I get my zebra sock back? It's laundry day.
Already on it, partner.
With a poof of lint and a giggle, he vanished, leaving behind both socks and a single blue bit labeled Top Secret.
From that day on, Timmy kept an extra sock in his pocket, just in case the raccoon needed.
Eliot was a philosopher in a land of silence. And that silence was the loneliest sound he knew.
Come on, move, move.
Heavy one, huh?
Heavier than me.
Angle it with your hind legs. There, push on the seat.
All right, here we go. Good roll. Stop it! Quit it! You tiny terrorist.
So that's what all the noise was about.
Looking solid, little builders. Thanks for the help. I think we fixed it together.
Did you ever notice how baobab bark feels like time itself?
Easy. Steady.
You're getting stronger every day, Pip.
But not fast like them.
Their day started just like yours. Little steps, then bigger ones.
See that stone? That's your target.
You want me to touch it?
With your hooves, yes. Time to try them.
They feel too wobbly, Mama.
Then let them wobble. They'll find their way.
It's too hard, Mama.
Every leg on this earth was clumsy once. Yours are magnificent. They just just need trust. You're thinking too much, little one.
Thinking's bad.
Not bad, just heavy. Stop looking at your feet. Look where you want to go.
Okay, look where I want to go.
That's it. Don't look down, Pip. Look ahead.
You made it.
I did. I really did. They were never the problem, were they?
No, little one. You just had to trust them.
When you stop watching your feet, you learn how to fly. Whee!
You'll roll yourself dizzy one day, little one.
Then I'll roll all the way to the sky. Whoa, that's the biggest one ever.
That's the Great Spire. The sweetest shoots grow at the top.
I can do that too. Why is it so hard?
It takes time, little one. Every climb starts small. That's...
Maybe I'll never climb anything. I just wanted to make Mama proud. Paws out, grab tight, don't roll this time. I'm better at rolling than climbing.
You just need to remember your tools.
Tools? I don't have any tools.
Maybe you do. You just haven't noticed them yet. I know that look. I used to feel it too.
You? But you're so good at climbing.
I wasn't always, but I learned something. We pandas have a secret helper. This little bone here, it's your bamboo holder, your secret thumb. Use it to
Please, pull, step. I'm doing it! Totally worth it.
Guess I was already special. I just had to find it.
You climbed it, Rolly.
And I still rolled pretty great too.
Master, did you not feel that the Serpent King lacked conviction? Perhaps he realized his errors. No demon realizes error, only weak structural integrity.
That's all I need. A dreadful design flaw.
Be quiet, monkey.
May all beings be freed from fear. Tail, tuck the tail.
Wukong.
Sorry, Your Majesty. Looks like your threads just got an upgrade.
Best kind of mischief? The kind that sings. Told you it would work. Let's go before she...
Master. It's not enough to be strong. One must be a better logistician than the foe.
You're late for dinner, Elias.
Just as we left it.
It will be.
And let's stay a while.
If strength won't do, mischief will.
Still squealing in the bone.
You dine with vigor, Your Majesty.
And you sit like a statue. Not hungry, little monk?
My stomach is full. My heart is light.
Ah! Heart light won't fill a belly.
Catch me if you can. Hope you've got room for dessert. Woohoo! Ah! Whoa, not this way! Ah! Your decoy is dreadful! Release the Tang priest and swear it!
Yes, yes. I yield.
Good, Snake. Now keep that promise, or I'll come back with a bigger stick. Ta-da! The monkey is back. Wukong, best exit ever. Thanks, Scaly. I guess so. See, Master? Why bother with doors when the esophagus works fine? Bloody statue there, Wukong. Quick,
Fennel the fox. Cunning, charming, undefeated. Until Stellan the stork came along. But this morning, he was still king of his little world.
Do help yourself, dear Stellan. There's plenty.
Oh, there's plenty, all right.
Oh, what's wrong, dear Fennel?
Is the aroma too strong for you?
That'll do. Oh, yes. That's going to work.
Welcome, dear Stellan. My table in the treetops awaits you.
Quite the spectacle, Fennel. These hang in the air like lanterns.
Only the finest for a guest with wings.
Sweet victory.
Well played, friend.
Until dinner. Sometimes, my dear Stellan, it's not the length, but the gentleness that wins the feast.
I suppose we both learned something tonight.
Indeed. Humble pie tastes better with good company.
Here, try this one.
Thank you, friend.
Look at them dance.
Beautiful,
The
isn't
night
it?
agrees.
Finian, or Finn, as he was known in the teeming corridors of the Great Barrier Labyrinth, was not the fastest fish.
Run for the seagrass!
No. Think first. I read. Right now.
Finn, it's too close.
Faster!
Oh, be stung.
Yes.
The sting heals. The net kills. Finian had not needed speed, strength, or luck. Only the correct application of a rock, gravity, and the stupidity of men.
Stay on the path. Don't talk to strangers.
I promise, Mama.
Good morning, sweet cub. Where are you headed?
To Grandma's house, near the big oak.
Ah, but have you seen the fire? Petals beyond the willows. So rare, so red, just like your cloak.
Could that be this late? Goodness, you gave me a fright. Now, what's all this? Grandma, what big ears you have.
All the better to hear your sweet voice, my dear.
were brave.
Profit's just a matter of clever dilution.
There you are. Finest milk in the village. Well, look at that. Can't even close the pocket anymore. Worth every drop.
My custard won't set.
And my tea tastes like pond water.
Nonsense. Purest milk in the county. Is this the freshness you promised?
Hush. Door's closed for good, I reckon.
The great frost spared no soul, and for Silas Pumble, it preserved his guilt in ice.
Finley the Fox Cub was clever, quick, and very curious, but he never liked to wait for lessons to end.
Easy there, little Whiskers.
Sorry, Mama.
Come on, let's start with the rabbit tracks. Finley,
Just one hop.
half a lesson won't help you catch supper.
I know I'm coming.
Good, let's finish together.
Mama Fox said, "Knowledge is a well. You must drink deeply." But Finley just grinned. He thought one quick sip was enough.
Patience, Finley. Wisdom takes time.
Elder Rabbit explained. The secret to perfect jam is 7 tender white oak leaves from the sunny side.
7 leaves. Got it. Finley, wait. He was very right. Finley made his own batch, but his jam turned bitter and gritty. He'd missed the most important part. Ugh.
Maybe too many leaves?
Finley,
You heard the start, Finley.
Said Elder Rabbit, but not the whole lesson.
Half a lesson makes half a jam, my boy.
Next day, Finley watched the beavers fix a leak. 3 sticks, a bit of mud. Easy. His quick fix exploded into a muddy flood. The moles squeaked as their burrow filled with water.
Oops. Squeaking nothing.
You had the right number, Finley,
said Head Beaver, but not the right knowledge. The gentle wisdom in his voice settled like the golden light on the river. Finley felt smaller than a pebble. I only listened to the easy parts, he sighed.
True skill takes patience, my little one. A little learning can cause big trouble.
Mama Fox wrapped her tail around him. This time, Finley stayed until the very end, soaking, weaving, and finishing every step. His basket was perfect, sturdy and true. Finley had learned to listen deeply, from the first word to the last.
Morning, Tulip. Sleep well, girl? That's my good girl. Let's get some breakfast going.
Rusty gets to run around, Pepper gets to wake everyone up. And me? I just stand here, eat clover. Moo. Maybe I could try being a dog for a change. All right, Tulip. Be the dog. Be the dog. Woof, woof, moo!
Tulip! What on earth?
Oops. Guess that didn't go so well. Okay. Just like Pepper. Cock-a-doodle moo! Keep it down, Tulip! Oh, dear. I'm no rooster either.
You've been trying mighty hard to be everyone but yourself, haven't you, girl?
Moo. I just wanted to be special.
You already are. You make milk no one else can. That's what keeps us going. That's what makes you, you.
You're right. I like being...
Guess we all have our place, Tulip. And that's what makes this farm just right.
Nothing like the forest some to end the day.
Did you hear it? The hum! It's stronger tonight!
The hum is always strong, little one. It's the forest breathing.
No. Pimp is right. It feels... like a secret.
A secret star!
I suppose a little adventure wouldn't hurt.
Was the best secret ever.
Indeed it was, little one. The monkey was known throughout the great green forest for his bright eyes and even brighter ideas.
It's a shame we can't reach those star fruit.
The only problem was the river home to Kala, the enormous, grumpy crocodile.
Kala is vain and easily flattered. Maybe I can use that.
Oh, Kala, Lord of the River, I have a very serious question for you.
What is it, cheeky monkey? Can't you see I'm napping?
It's a matter of the very highest importance. The Monkey King needs to know who the strongest ruler of the forest is, the monkeys or the crocodiles.
The crocodiles, of course. Gather, my family.
A long line of crocodiles stretched across the water, forming a bumpy, scaly bridge.
Wow, brilliant! Look at that!
canned delicious star fruit, knowing that a clever mind is often better than a quick jump.
In the land of Lumina, where the moon always shone like a pearl and the stars glittered like scattered diamonds, magic lived in every breath of air.
Ah, the night feels alive tonight.
Stardust, the unicorn of silver light, loved the quiet hours of the moon.
What is happening in the sky? Two hearts dancing among the stars. It was a sight even Lumina had never known. Love made light.
It's the heart dance! The spirits of the lake and sky are showing their love!
The heart dance. How beautiful. Even the smallest of lights knew the story. A dance that happened only when the moon was perfectly full. The lake reaches for the sky, and the sky answers. Even the brightest magic must rest, but its love remains. And so Stardust carried the memory of the heart dance forever, a reminder that love in all its forms is the most powerful magic of all. Ants Farm.
Happy birthday, Andy! Your very own ant farm.
Wow! Real ants? Can I name them?
All right, team. New home, new start. Let's get digging.
Wow! Look at all the space!
Oh no, the rain's getting in. Water breach, move the eggs. The sand's falling.
Hold on, Tiny. We're coming! You guys are amazing! You fixed it all! Teamwork makes strong tunnels and strong friends!
Leo the proud lion.
Sunlight spilled through the leaves as the jungle woke up.
Good morning, jungle. It's me, the mighty Leo, the strongest, bravest, and most handsome lion in the world.
There goes Leo again. Always talking about himself.
So proud, so loud!
Well, it's not pride if it's true.
Later that day, Leo rested under his favorite tree.
Oh, what's this? Who dares to touch the paw of the king? Sorry, Mighty Lion. I didn't mean to. I was just running home.
You're smaller than my... Everyone admires me. Everyone fears me. Truly, I am perfect.
Suddenly, a rope trap catches Leo's leg and lifts him into the air.
Roar! What is this? Let me down at once. Help! Someone!
Can't help him. That trap is too strong.
King and
Don't worry, Leo. I'm here.
Oh no, not you. What can a tiny mouse do?
Just watch, Mighty Lion.
Mouse climbs up and gnaws the rope until it breaks. Leo falls safely to the ground.
You sick. I was so proud that I thought no one smaller than me could be important. But today, a tiny mouse became my hero. Thank you, little friend.
Even the smallest creature can make a big difference.
Hooray! Long live friendship! Squawk King learned a thing!
The Great Ant Farm Adventure. The box sat on Maya's desk, shimmering with potential. As she carefully peeled back the lid, her heart thumped like a drum. Inside was the ant farm, a tiny, clear world waiting to come alive. Her fingers brushed against the cool glass as she whispered, "This isn't just a toy. This is a kingdom, and I'm its guardian." She had spent weeks preparing for this moment, gathering ants from the garden with patient care. She'd even made sure the tunnels were pre-dug to give them a head start. But as she gently introduced the ants into their new home, she noticed one ant in particular, a slightly larger one with a gleaming black body. "You'll be Queenie," Maya declared with a smile, watching her disappear into the tunnels. The rest of the ants, the busy bunch, followed, their tiny legs scurrying with energy. For hours, Maya watched in awe as they explored their new world, carrying grains of sand to build their tunnels. But as the first day passed, Maya's excitement dimmed. Queenie was barely moving. The other ants tried to nudge her into action, but she remained still. A pang of worry clenched Maya's chest. "Queenie, what's wrong?" she whispered, her voice cracking. Desperate to help, Maya flipped through her ant guidebook late into the night. Finally, she found the answer. Queens needed extra nourishment to thrive. "Honey," she murmured, sprinting to the kitchen. With trembling hands, she placed a single golden drop onto a tiny leaf and slid it gently into the farm. "Please let this work," she prayed, her eyes glistening. The next morning, Maya ran to the farm, her heart in her throat. There she was, Queenie, moving with newfound energy, her antennae signaling to the busy bunch. Maya's eyes filled with tears of relief. The ants sprang into action, working faster than ever. "You're back," Maya whispered, her chest swelling with pride. As days passed, the ant farm became a bustling world of teamwork and harmony. Maya decided to challenge her tiny friends by placing a crumb of bread at the farthest corner of the farm. For a moment, the ants seemed to hesitate, their antennae twitching in confusion. But then, in an incredible display of unity, they formed a line, passing the crumb along like a relay team. Maya's jaw dropped. "They're unstoppable," she murmured, her heart soaring. But life has a way of testing even the strongest bonds. One evening, her little brother Tim accidentally bumped the desk, sending the ant farm tumbling to the floor. The glass stayed intact, but the tunnels collapsed and ants scattered everywhere. Maya froze, her heart sinking like a stone. "No," she cried, tears streaming down her cheeks. Tim, seeing her despair, knelt beside her. "We can fix this," he said softly. Together they worked carefully, using a soft brush to gather the ants and restore their home. The farm was a mess, but the ants didn't stop. They immediately began rebuilding, their determination mirroring Maya's own. A week later, something extraordinary happened. Maya noticed the ants had reshaped their tunnels into a perfect heart. She gasped, her hands flying to her mouth. "They're saying thank you," she whispered, tears blurring her vision. Maya realized the ants had given her more than just an amazing experience. They had shown her what it meant to persevere, to care, and to find beauty in even the smallest struggles. As the camera zoomed out from the ant farm, the heart-shaped tunnels glowing under a soft light, Maya spoke with a smile. "They're not just ants. They're tiny reminders that even in the face of chaos, love, teamwork, and resilience can create something beautiful." And as the video faded to black, viewers couldn't help but sit in silence, their hearts warm and their spirits lifted by the smallest of miracles.
Once upon a time, in a small humble town, a curious little girl named Lucy stumbled upon a hidden treasure deep within a lush green forest. This was no ordinary treasure, for it was a shimmering pond glowing with an indescribable, ethereal beauty. As Lucy approached this wonder, she felt a powerful energy drawing her closer. The pond, it was said, could fulfill one wish to anyone who dove into its waters with a heart free of malice and full of sincerity. Intrigued yet unsure, Lucy decided to test the fabled powers of the magical pond. She closed her eyes and whispered her heart's innocent desire. As she plunged into the glowing waters, she felt an overwhelming surge of warmth and kindness. She surfaced to find herself in a wondrous world where all creatures lived harmoniously. This new realm, a product of her wish, unraveled an exciting journey filled with unexpected friendships with magical beings and valuable lessons that shaped Lucy into a wise, compassionate soul. Meet Daisy, the most adventurous little deer in the heart of the great old forest. She has shiny brown fur and sparkling eyes full of curiosity. In this grand woodland, a legend about magical flowers exists, and Daisy, with her big heart, earnestly yearns to find them. Legend says these flowers have the ability to fulfill one's heart's desire. Sparked by fascination and the innocent desire of making her forest a happier place, Daisy steps out of her comfort zone, waving her small tail goodbye to her worried family. She fearlessly navigates the mystery-filled forest. With her globe-sized eyes, she observes the wonderful inherent magic of nature and learns the value of bravery and determination. She meets various forest inhabitants, each with their own tales and guiding her on her journey. Daisy faces numerous challenges, using fledgling wisdom and bravery to overcome them. Will she find the magical flowers? And will her heart's desire bring happiness to her forest? Echo her steps in this exciting adventure as Daisy treads unseen paths.
Once upon a time, in a small, colorful village, there lived a young boy named Tommy. Tommy was known for his big, bright eyes and a mischievous smile that could charm anyone. However, he had a little problem. He often told small lies to impress his friends. One sunny day, Tommy and his friends decided to go on a treasure hunt in the nearby woods. They followed a map they found in an old book and searched tirelessly. After hours of digging, Tommy's shovel hit something hard. He couldn't believe his luck. He had found the treasure chest. But as he opened it, Tommy realized that the chest was filled with shiny, precious gems. He felt tempted to keep them all for himself and tell his friends it was empty. However, a little voice inside his head reminded him of the importance of honesty. With a sigh, Tommy admitted the truth to his friends. They were disappointed at first, but soon realized that honesty was more valuable than any treasure. They all decided to share the gems equally and spent the day playing games and laughing together. From that day on, Tommy learned that honesty truly was the best policy, and he never told another lie again. His friends admired his honesty, and they all lived happily ever after, cherishing the real treasure they had found, their friendship.
Once upon a time in the cozy town of Sunnyville, there was a little girl named Lily. Lily loved sunny days when she could play outside with her friends. But one day, something unexpected happened. The sky turned dark, and raindrops started to fall from the sky. Lily looked out of her window and sighed. "Oh no, it's raining," she exclaimed. Her mom, hearing her disappointment, smiled and said, "Don't worry, Lily. Rainy days can be fun too." Lily wasn't so sure, but she decided to trust her mom. She put on her raincoat, grabbed her colorful umbrella, and headed outside. As soon as she stepped into the rain, she felt the cool droplets on her face. To her surprise, she saw puddles forming on the ground. Lily jumped into one with a big splash and giggled. She twirled her umbrella and danced in the raindrops, feeling like a graceful dancer. Soon, her friends joined her, and they had a blast jumping in puddles, making paper boats to sail down the streams of rainwater and laughing together. Lily realized that rainy days could be just as fun as sunny ones. They were filled with new adventures and special memories, all thanks to a little rain. From that day on, Lily looked forward to rainy days, knowing they could bring joy and excitement, even when the sun was hiding behind the clouds. And whenever it rained, Lily and her friends would go out and play, making the most of every rainy day. And so, in the town of Sunnyville, rainy days became a time for laughter, friendship, and endless fun. Once upon a time, in a cozy little village nestled among rolling green hills, there lived a kind and wise village doctor named Dr. Emily. She was known far and wide for her magical healing touch.
Dr. Emily had a tiny clinic where she cared for all the villagers, from the tiniest toddlers to the eldest grandmas and grandpas. She had a special way of making everyone feel better, not just with her medicines, but with her warm smile and gentle words. One sunny morning, a little girl named Lily came to Dr. Emily's clinic with a sore throat. She was feeling miserable and had a big, sad frown on her face. Dr. Emily listened to Lily's cough and then gave her a glass of honey lemon tea and a funny story to make her laugh. As days passed, more villagers came to Dr. Emily with their ailments. She treated broken bones, tummy aches, and even helped the animals when they were sick. Everyone in the village loved and admired her for her kindness and knowledge. One day, a rainbow appeared in the sky over the village. The villagers said it was a sign that Dr. Emily's care and love had made their village a special place. From that day on, they called her Dr. Emily, the Rainbow Healer, and they knew they were lucky to have her in their village. And so, Dr. Emily continued to spread her healing magic, bringing smiles and rainbows to the hearts of all who knew her in their happy little village. Once upon a time, in a peaceful forest, there lived a group of animals of all shapes and sizes. There were rabbits, squirrels, deer, and even a wise old owl. Each day, they went about their own business, and they rarely spoke to one another. One sunny morning, a mighty storm rolled in. Dark clouds covered the sky, and rain poured down like a waterfall. The wind howled and the trees shook. The animals were scared and shivering in fear. The wise old owl hooted, "We must unite to survive this storm. If we work together, we can build a shelter strong enough to protect us all." The animals hesitated at first, but they knew the owl was right. So they gathered leaves, twigs, and branches and worked side by side. The rabbits used their quick paws to gather materials, the squirrels climbed trees to find sturdy branches, and the deer helped carry them. As they worked together, they built a cozy shelter that kept them safe and dry throughout the storm. They realized that unity had given them strength. From that day on, the animals of the forest became friends, always helping each other. They knew that together, they could overcome any challenge that came their way, proving that unity is indeed strength. Kids' storybooks. Subscribe. Emmy's lazy days turned magical. Once upon a time, in a cozy village, there lived a boy named Timmy. Timmy was known for one thing. He was the laziest boy anyone had ever seen. He would rather lie in his hammock all day than do any chores or play with his friends. One sunny morning, Timmy's friends, Jenny and Danny, came to his house with a plan. "Timmy, it's such a beautiful day. Let's go on an adventure to the enchanted forest," Jenny suggested. Timmy yawned and said, "I'm too tired to go anywhere." But Jenny and Danny were determined. They started telling Timmy about the magical creatures, sparkling streams, and candy trees in the enchanted forest. Timmy's eyes widened with curiosity. With newfound energy, Timmy jumped out of his hammock, and together with his friends, they set off on their adventure. They chased butterflies, listened to birds sing, and even found a candy tree that dropped gumdrops. As the sun set, they returned home with hearts full of joy. Timmy realized that being lazy was nowhere near as fun as going on adventures with friends. From that day on, he joined Jenny and Danny in their adventures, proving that even the laziest of people could change when surrounded by the right friends and a little bit of magic. Kids' storybooks. Subscribe. The Joyful King of Gotham. Once upon a time, in the whimsical village of Gotham, there lived a wise and kind-hearted king named King Gilbert. Gotham was a peculiar place where the people were known for their quirky ways and funny antics. One sunny morning, King Gilbert decided to take a stroll through the village. As he walked, he saw people doing the silliest things. A man was trying to teach his cow to dance, while another was painting his house with polka dots. King Gilbert chuckled and asked, "Why do you all do such unusual things?" A woman with a big smile replied, "Your Majesty, we believe in bringing laughter and joy to our lives. We may not be the smartest, but we're the happiest." The king was touched by their happiness. He decided to join in the fun, and soon he was wearing a goofy hat and telling jokes with the villagers. The people of Gotham laughed and danced with their king all day. From that day on, King Gilbert learned that sometimes it's the quirkiest and happiest moments that make life truly special. And so, in the land of Gotham, the people and their king continued to fill their days with laughter and joy, making their village the happiest place in the world. And they all lived happily and a little bit strangely ever after. Kids Storybooks. Subscribe. The Magical Winter Morning. Once upon a time, in a cozy little village, there was a magical winter morning that everyone eagerly awaited. The children of the village loved this special day more than anything else. It was a day when everything sparkled with frost and snow. As the first light of dawn painted the sky in shades of pink and purple, the children jumped out of their beds, filled with excitement. They rushed to their windows and gasped in delight. The whole world outside had transformed into a winter wonderland. The trees wore fluffy white coats, and icicles hung from their branches like shiny jewels. The rooftops of the houses glistened with a layer of fresh snow, and the ground was a soft, powdery blanket of white. The children bundled up in their warmest scarves, mittens, and hats, and they raced outside. Laughter filled the air as they built snowmen, had snowball fights, and created intricate snowflakes with their own hands. As the day went on, the sun peeked through the clouds, and the snowflakes twinkled like diamonds. The children's cheeks turned rosy, and their hearts were filled with the joy of the magical winter morning. And so, in this enchanting village, every winter morning was a reminder of the beauty and wonder that could be found in the simplest of moments, making it a place where dreams and memories were made to last a lifetime. Kids Storybooks. Subscribe. Early Bird's Adventure. Once upon a time, in the quiet village of Sunnydale, there lived a little bird named Benny. Benny was not like other birds. He loved to wake up early in the morning while the sun was still yawning and the world was wrapped in a cozy blanket of darkness. Every morning, Benny's friends, like Freddie the Fox and Lila the Squirrel, would be fast asleep in their warm, comfy beds. But Benny was already up and about, ready for a new day of adventure. One day, Benny decided to explore the forest that lay beyond the village. He hopped from branch to branch, his little wings flapping with excitement. He discovered beautiful flowers, sparkling dewdrops, and even a hidden waterfall. As the day went on, Benny realized that the early morning was the best time to experience the wonders of nature. He watched as the animals woke up, the flowers opened their petals, and the world burst into colors and songs. Benny's friends soon noticed his joy and started joining him in his early morning adventures. They too learned that there was magic in the early hours, a time when the world felt fresh and full of promise. And so, in the village of Sunnydale, everyone learned the value of early rising thanks to their little friend Benny, the early bird. They discovered that every day was a gift waiting to be unwrapped, and the best way to do it was with a smile and an early start. Kids crow who learned to share. Once upon a time, in a cozy forest, there lived a proud and handsome crow named Cory. Cory had the shiniest black feathers, and he was known far and wide for his striking appearance. He would often strut around the forest, showing off his glossy plumage to anyone who would listen. Cory loved to spend his days perched on the tallest tree, preening his feathers and boasting about his beauty to his friends. He'd say, "Look at me. I am the most beautiful bird in the forest." His friends, however, were not pleased with Cory's boasting. They tried to tell him that beauty wasn't the only thing that mattered, and that kindness and humility were important too. But Cory wouldn't listen. He was too proud to hear their advice. One day, a group of young animals from the forest decided to have a contest to see who could find the shiniest and most beautiful object in the forest. Cory was excited and eagerly joined the competition, convinced that he would win. As he searched for something to show off, he came across a sparkling diamond hidden in the grass. Cory picked it up and flew back to the gathering, certain that he would be crowned the winner. But when he arrived, he saw the other animals holding beautiful flowers, colorful leaves, and glistening stones. They were sharing their treasures with each other, and everyone was amazed by the beauty of nature. Cory felt a pang of guilt. He realized that his diamond, though beautiful, was just an object, while the other animals had found and shared the true beauty of the forest. He also saw that his pride had prevented him from making friends and truly appreciating the wonders of the world around him. Cory learned a valuable lesson that day. He apologized to his friends and thanked them for their kindness and wisdom. From then on, he no longer boasted about his appearance, and he shared the beauty of the forest with others. Cory discovered that the true beauty of the world was in the love and friendship he found among the animals in the forest. And so, Cory the crow learned that humility and kindness were far more valuable than pride and beauty, and he lived happily ever after, surrounded by friends who loved him for who he was on the inside. Kids' storybooks. Subscribe. The Brave Adventures of Timmy the Explorer. Once upon a time in the small village of Greenhill, there lived a brave young boy named Timmy. Timmy had always been an adventurous and curious child, and he dreamed of exploring the world beyond his village. One sunny morning, as he was playing near the forest, he overheard the grown-ups talking about a mysterious cave deep in the heart of the woods. They said that no one had ever dared to enter it because they believed it was filled with treasure, guarded by a fearsome dragon. Timmy's eyes lit up with excitement, and he decided that he would be the one to uncover the cave's secrets. He packed some snacks, put on his sturdy shoes, and set off on his grand adventure. As he ventured deeper into the forest, he encountered all sorts of creatures, from squirrels to rabbits, and even a wise old owl. Each one tried to warn him about the dangers of the dragon looked at Timmy, its eyes glowing with a mix of curiosity and surprise. Timmy didn't run away. Instead, he took a deep breath and said, "Hello, Mr. Dragon. I'm Timmy, and I've come to explore this cave. Are you the guardian of the treasure?" The dragon, taken aback by Timmy's bravery and politeness, nodded and said, "I am the guardian, but no one has ever been so kind and polite. You may enter." Inside the cave, Timmy discovered not a treasure chest, but a magical world filled with sparkling crystals, colorful plants, and friendly creatures. He made friends with the dragon, and they had wonderful adventures together. Timmy returned to his village, not with gold and jewels, but with a heart full of courage, new friends, and incredible stories to share. From that day on, the villagers admired him for his bravery and kindness, and Timmy's name was forever remembered in Greenhill as the bravest explorer of all. And so, Timmy's brave adventures became legendary, inspiring the children of Greenhill to dream big and explore the unknown, just like the brave boy who had once ventured into the mysterious cave. Kids' storybooks. Subscribe. Leo, the Cute Lion Cube. Once upon a time, in the heart of the animal kingdom, there lived a cute little lion cub named Leo. Leo was unlike any other lion in the jungle because he was not just any lion, he was a lion cube. Leo was small, fluffy, and had a charming smile that could brighten anyone's day. He lived with his loving family in a cozy den deep in the lush green jungle. Leo had a big dream. He wanted to be friends with all the other animals in the jungle. But the other animals were scared of him because he was a lion, even though he was small and cute. Leo knew he had to prove that he was a friendly lion cube. One sunny morning, Leo saw a group of animals playing by the river. He decided to join in, hoping to make new friends. At first, the animals were hesitant, but when they saw Leo's warm smile and kind heart, they realized he wasn't a threat. Leo and his new friends played together, sharing stories and laughter. From that day on, Leo was no longer a lonely lion cube. He had a jungle full of friends who loved him for who he was, a cute and friendly lion cube. And they all lived happily ever after, playing and having fun in the jungle, with Leo the lion cube at the heart of it all. Kids' storybooks. Subscribe. A Little Deer. Once upon a time, in the heart of the enchanted forest, there lived a little deer named Daisy. Daisy had the softest, most radiant coat of fur, dotted with spots as if painted by the twinkling stars above. One sunny morning, Daisy woke up to a strange sound. Curiosity sparkled in her big, innocent eyes as she followed the melodic melody through the woods. To her surprise, she discovered a magical clearing where a group of colorful birds gathered, singing their cheerful tunes. Feeling a bit shy, Daisy hesitated at the edge of the clearing. Sensing her hesitation, the birds invited her to join them. Soon, Daisy found herself dancing to the rhythm of the forest symphony, her hooves tapping in harmony with the lively beat. As the day unfolded, the little deer and the birds became fast friends. They played hide and seek, shared stories, and laughed together. Daisy's heart swelled with joy, and she realized that the enchanted forest was full of wonderful surprises. From that day forward, Daisy visited her feathered friends often, and the magical clearing became a place where laughter echoed through the trees. The little deer and her new friends discovered that friendship could be found in the most unexpected places, making the enchanted forest an even more delightful home for Daisy and her feathered companions. And so, with each passing day, their laughter and joy filled the air, creating a magical symphony that echoed throughout the enchanted forest. Kids' storybooks. Subscribe. A Honest Shepherd. Once upon a time, in a small village nestled between rolling green hills, there lived a shepherd named Liam. Liam was known far and wide for his honesty and kindness. Every day, he would lead his flock of fluffy sheep to the meadow, where they grazed on the sweet grass. One sunny day, as Liam watched over his flock, he noticed a little lamb that had strayed away from the rest. Concerned, he gently picked up the tiny creature and carried it back to the safety of the flock. As he returned the lamb, he discovered a glittering tangled Curiosity sparked in Liam's eyes, but he knew that honesty was the best policy. Instead of keeping the golden key for himself, he decided to ask around the village if anyone had lost it. The villagers were astonished by Liam's honesty and rewarded him with a basket of delicious fruits. The news of Liam's honesty spread far and wide, reaching the ears of the king. Impressed by the shepherd's integrity, the king invited Liam to the royal palace. There, the king entrusted Liam with an important task of caring for a magical garden filled with rare and beautiful flowers. From that day forward, Liam continued to be the honest shepherd who was not only cherished by his flock, but also respected by the entire kingdom. And so, The village flourished with trust and kindness, all thanks to the shepherd with a heart as pure as gold.
Monster battle catch and train.
Kids Storybooks. Subscribe. The Little Red Hood and the Big Bad Wolf. Once upon a time, in a quaint little village, there lived a sweet little girl named Little Red Hood. She was known for her vibrant red hood that her grandmother had lovingly made for her. Little Red Hood loved to explore the woods near her home, picking wildflowers and chasing butterflies. One sunny day, her mother called out, "Little Red Hood, take this basket of goodies to your grandmother. She's not feeling well, and these treats will surely cheer her up. But remember, stay on the path and don't talk to strangers." Little Red Hood skipped along the path, humming a cheerful tune. Unbeknownst to her, a big bad wolf lurked nearby, his eyes gleaming with mischief. The wolf, with a sly grin, decided to trick Little Red Hood. "Hello, Little Red Hood," he said, pretending to be a friendly old man. "Where are you off to with that basket?" "I'm going to visit my grandmother and bring her some goodies," she replied innocently. The crafty wolf hatched a plan to reach Granny's house first. As Little Red Hood approached Granny's cottage, she was surprised to find the door ajar. She walked in cautiously and saw a strange figure in Granny's bed. "Oh, Granny, what big ears you have!" Little Red Hood exclaimed. "All the better to hear you with, my dear," said the wolf, revealing his true identity. With a quick leap, the big bad wolf sprang from the bed, but Little Red Hood was faster. She darted out of the house, shouting for help. The villagers heard her cries and came running. Together, they chased the big bad wolf away, and Little Red Hood learned a valuable lesson about the importance of being cautious in the woods. From that day forward, Little Red Hood never strayed from the path and always remembered her mother's wise words about avoiding strangers. And so, she continued to explore the woods. But now, with the villagers watching out for her and keeping the big bad wolf at bay. Kids Storybooks. Subscribe. The Clever Fox and the Sly Stork. Once upon a time, in the heart of the enchanted forest, lived a clever fox named Felix and a sly stork named Stella. They were the best of friends, always playing tricks on each other. One day, Felix invited Stella over for lunch. The clever fox prepared a delicious soup, but served it in shallow bowls. With his nimble tongue, Felix slurped up the soup with ease, leaving Stella with an empty stomach. Stella, though sly, was not one to be outsmarted. The next day, she invited Felix to her cozy nest for dinner. The sly stork cooked a mouth-watering feast and served it in tall, narrow glasses. Felix, with his pointy snout, struggled to reach the food. He realized the clever stork had turned the tables on him. Instead of getting upset, Felix admired Stella's wit. From that day on, Felix and Stella learned to appreciate each other's cleverness. They played pranks together, laughed wholeheartedly, and shared many more delightful meals, always making sure to consider each other's unique abilities. And so, in the enchanted forest, the clever fox and the sly stork taught everyone the importance of friendship and embracing each other's differences with a playful spirit.
এমনি পাঠান রাখবো না নিয়ে যা
Kids Storybooks.
মাইনা খাওয়া চলে যায় তোরে
Subscribe. A Lion and a Rabbit. Once upon a time, in the heart of the vibrant jungle, lived Leo the lion and Robbie the rabbit. Leo, with his golden mane, was known as the king of the jungle, while Robbie, with his soft fur, was the quickest hopper around. One sunny day, Leo approached Robbie with a request. "Dear Robbie, I need your help," said Leo. "I've lost my roar,
and I need your speedy ears to find it. Robbie, always ready for an adventure, agreed to help. They hopped and prowled through the jungle, searching high and low. Along the way, they encountered chatty parrots, swinging monkeys, and colorful butterflies, each offering their unique assistance. As the sun began to set, Robbie noticed a strange sound near a bubbling stream. It was a tiny roar coming from a playful cub trapped on a rock. Leo's mighty roar had shrunk, but Robbie's small ears had found it. With a swift jump, Robbie rescued the cub, and Leo's roar returned to its full strength. Grateful, Leo proclaimed Robbie the hero of the jungle. From that day forward, Leo and Robbie became the best of friends, their laughter echoing through the trees, a testament to the unlikely bond between the king of the jungle and the quick hopper. And so, in the heart of the jungle, friendship triumphed, proving that even the mightiest lion can find courage in the smallest rabbit's heart. Kids Storybooks. Subscribe. A Greedy Milkman. Once upon a time, in the quaint village of Butterfield, there lived a milkman named Mr. Malicious. He was known far and wide for delivering the freshest milk to the villagers every morning. However, Mr. Malicious had a secret. He was incredibly greedy. One day, he decided to start diluting the milk with water to make more money. The villagers soon noticed that the milk didn't taste as rich and creamy as before. Children frowned as they sipped their cereal, and parents grumbled about the change. As Mr. Malicious counted his extra coins, he couldn't help but feel a pang of guilt. One night, he had a vivid dream about a magical cow that spoke to him. The wise cow warned him that his greed would bring trouble to the village. Startled, Mr. Malicious woke up with a newfound sense of responsibility. The next day, he went to each villager's doorstep and confessed his misdeeds. To make amends, he promised to provide free milk for a month. The villagers, touched by his honesty, forgave Mr. Malicious. From that day forward, he learned the importance of honesty and generosity. The magical cow appeared in his dreams once more, smiling approvingly, and Butterfield became a village known not only for its fresh milk but also for the lessons of honesty and kindness learned by its once greedy milkman. Kids Storybooks. Subscribe. The Adventures of Super Bunny. Once upon a time in the magical land of Caratopia, there lived a special bunny named Benny. Benny wasn't an ordinary bunny. He was Super Bunny. With his floppy ears and a bright pink cape, Benny was always ready for an adventure. One sunny day, the mischievous Cabbage King decided to steal all the carrots from Caratopia. The carrots were the heart and soul of the Bunny Kingdom, and without them, the bunnies would be in big trouble. Super Bunny sprang into action. He hopped through meadows, crossed babbling brooks, and swung from vines until he reached the Cabbage Castle. The Cabbage King, thinking he was too clever, giggled, "No more carrots for you, silly bunnies." But Super Bunny wasn't one to back down. With a mighty leap, he soared into the castle, dodging cabbage traps and lettuce lassos. The Cabbage King was no match for Super Bunny's quick wit and carrot-powered strength. In the end, Super Bunny not only saved the day, but also taught the Cabbage King the importance of sharing. The kingdom rejoiced as Benny, the Super Bunny, returned with a basket full of carrots, ensuring that Caratopia would be a happy and well-fed place forever. And so, Super Bunny continued to protect his bunny friends, ensuring that no vegetable villain could ever threaten the joy and munching delight of Caratopia. Kids Storybooks. Subscribe. The Lion and the Mouse. Once upon a time, in the heart of the wild jungle, there lived a mighty lion named Leo. Leo was the king of the jungle, with a loud roar that could be heard for miles around. He was feared by all the animals, big and small. One sunny day,
As Leo was taking a nap under a shady tree, a tiny mouse named Milo scurried by. Milo was a curious and adventurous little fellow, always exploring the nooks and crannies of the jungle. As Milo was passing by, he accidentally stepped on Leo's tail. The mighty lion awoke with a start, roaring in anger. Milo, realizing his mistake, squeaked out an apology and pleaded for forgiveness. Surprisingly, Leo looked down at the tiny mouse and chuckled. "You, a tiny mouse, woke up the mighty lion. I should crush you," Leo teased, but his heart softened as he saw Milo's fear. Instead of harming Milo, Leo decided to spare him. From that day on, Leo and Milo became unlikely friends. Leo discovered that even the smallest creatures could be valuable friends, and Milo learned that sometimes courage comes in the tiniest of packages. And so, in the heart of the wild jungle, a powerful lion and a tiny mouse taught everyone that friendship can bloom in the most unexpected places. The jungle was a happier and more harmonious place because of Leo and Milo's unlikely friendship. Kids Storybooks. Subscribe. The Lion King. Once upon a time in the heart of the jungle, there lived a young lion named Leo. Leo wasn't like the other lion cubs. He was born with a shimmering golden mane that sparkled in the sunlight. His parents, King Simba and Queen Nala, were overjoyed, believing it was a sign of something special. As Leo grew, so did his curiosity about the world around him. He would spend hours exploring the vast savanna, making friends with the zebras, elephants, and even the mischievous monkeys. But Leo's heart longed for something more. One day, as the sun painted the sky in hues of pink and orange, Leo heard a gentle voice carried by the wind. "Leo, my child, your golden mane is a gift. Use it to bring unity and harmony to the kingdom." With newfound purpose, Leo set out to bring the animals together. He organized a grand gathering where all creatures, big and small, came together to share stories and laughter. The once divided jungle became a place of friendship and joy. And so, with his golden mane shining bright, Leo became not just the Lion King, but the king of all the animals, spreading love and unity throughout the magical jungle. And they all lived happily ever after. Kids Storybooks. Subscribe. A Clever Fish. Once upon a time, in the sparkling blue waters of Coral Cove, there lived a little fish named Finley. Finley was not the fastest swimmer or the brightest colored fish, but what he lacked in speed and color, he made up for with his cleverness. One day, a group of mischievous crabs decided to play a prank on the other fish in the cove. They stole all the shiny pebbles that the fish used to decorate their homes. The fish were upset and didn't know what to do, but Finley had a plan. He swam over to the crabs and said, "Dear crabs, why not have a contest to see who can build the tallest tower using these pebbles? The winner gets a special shiny seashell." The crabs loved a good competition, so they agreed. As they busily stacked the pebbles, Finley quietly gathered the stolen shiny pebbles and returned them to the fish. When the tower building contest was over, the crabs were too busy celebrating to notice that the pebbles were gone. The fish were delighted to find their shiny treasures back. From that day on, Finley's cleverness made him a hero in Coral Cove, and the other fish realized that sometimes brains were more important than brawn. And so, Finley, the clever little fish, swam happily through the sparkling blue waters, always ready to outsmart any challenge that came his way. Kids Storybooks. Subscribe. A Little Library. Once upon a time in a quiet neighborhood, there was a little library nestled between two tall oak trees. The library wasn't big and grand like the ones in the city. No, it was a tiny, cozy library that stood on the corner of Maple Street. This little library had a magical touch. Every night, when the moon shone brightly, the books inside would come to life. The characters would jump off the pages and explore the library's wooden shelves. They would chat with each other, play hide and seek, and even organize their own little parties. But the most magical part was when the sun started to rise. The characters would hurriedly return to their books, ready to greet the children who would visit the library during the day. One sunny morning, a curious girl named Lily discovered the little library. As she opened the creaky door, she was greeted by a friendly dragon from a storybook. Together, they embarked on incredible adventures, meeting talking animals, solving mysteries, and learning valuable lessons. From that day on, Lily became a regular visitor to the little library. She brought new friends, and the magical stories continued to unfold. The little library on Maple Street became a place where imagination knew no bounds, and every child who entered found a new friend within the pages of a book. And so, the tiny library became the heart of the neighborhood, filling the air with laughter, wonder, and the joy of storytelling. Kids' storybooks. Subscribe. A kind kangaroo. Once upon a time, in the vast and colorful land of Ozaru, there lived a kind-hearted kangaroo named Cody. Cody had the softest, brown fur and the friendliest eyes that sparkled like the morning sun. Cody loved to hop around the emerald green meadows, spreading joy wherever he went. His pouch was never empty, filled with delicious snacks for his friends, the chatty kookaburras, the playful joeys, and even the shy echidnas. One sunny day, a group of lost butterflies fluttered into Ozaru. They were far from their home and didn't know the way back. Cody, with his big heart, decided to help. He hopped gracefully through the gum tree forest, guiding the butterflies with his gentle words. As they traveled together, Cody shared stories of the magical outback and its wonders. The butterflies were mesmerized, and their worries floated away like dandelion seeds in the wind. When they reached the edge of Ozaru, Cody bid farewell to his fluttery friends. With a hop and a skip, he wished them safe travels back home. The butterflies promised to visit him in Ozaru whenever they could. And so, the kind kangaroo's act of generosity became a legend in Ozaru, reminding everyone that a little kindness can make the world a brighter, more beautiful place. And from that day on, Cody continued to hop and spread joy, making friends with every hop along the way. Kids' storybooks. Subscribe.
The Fox and the Goats. Once upon a time, in a lush green meadow, there lived a clever fox named Freddy and a playful group of goats. Freddy, with his bright orange fur and sparkling eyes, always had a mischievous glint in them. The goats, led by Gracie, were a friendly bunch who loved to graze and play together. One day, Freddy watched the goats munching on the tasty grass and had a cunning idea. "I'll pretend to be a wise old goat and join their group," thought Freddy. So, the next day, he approached the goats with a friendly smile. "Hello, my friends. I am Grandpa Goat, and I've heard this meadow has the juiciest grass. Mind if I join you?" The goats welcomed Grandpa Goat into their herd, unaware of Freddy's true identity. The sly fox played along, sharing jokes and stories, endearing himself to the goats. Days passed, and the goats grew fond of Grandpa Goat. One evening, as they gathered near a rocky hill, Freddy revealed his true self with a mischievous laugh. The goats were startled, but Freddy reassured them. "I may be a fox, but I've enjoyed your company so much that I want to be your friend for real. No tricks, I promise." The goats, seeing the sincerity in Freddy's eyes, forgave him. From that day on, the fox and the goats lived as true friends, sharing laughter and adventures in the meadow. And whenever Freddy felt mischievous, he'd remember the value of genuine friendship and put his cleverness to better use.
Kids' storybooks. Subscribe. Lily and Taddy's Enchanted Picnic. Once upon a time in a whimsical forest, there lived a cute little girl named Lily and her best friend, a fluffy teddy bear named Taddy. Lily and Taddy were inseparable, and they spent their days exploring the magical wonders of the enchanted woods. One sunny morning, Lily and Taddy decided to have a picnic by the sparkling stream. They packed a basket full of delicious treats like honey sandwiches and berry pies. As they sat on a checkered blanket, butterflies danced around them, creating a colorful spectacle. Suddenly, a mischievous squirrel named Nutty appeared and snatched Taddy. Lily gasped, her eyes widening with surprise. Determined to rescue her beloved Teddy, Lily chased Nutty through the forest. They leapt over bubbling brooks, dashed past tall trees, and giggled as they rolled down grassy hills. After a playful chase, Nutty realized he had caused enough mischief. With a squeaky apology, he returned Taddy to Lily. Grateful and forgiving, Lily invited Nutty to join their picnic. From that day forward, Nutty became their new friend, adding more joy to their adventures in the enchanted forest. And so, Lily, Taddy, and Nutty continued to explore the magical woods together, creating happy memories that would last a lifetime. The trio's laughter echoed through the trees, spreading the magic of friendship far and wide. The Little Pappy's Wish. Once upon a time, in the heart of the enchanted forest, there lived a little pappy named Pip. Pip was the smallest and cutest pappy you could ever imagine, with fluffy white fur and big, round eyes that sparkled like stars. Despite his tiny size, Pip had the biggest heart and a spirit full of curiosity. One sunny morning, Pip woke up with a twinkle in his eye. He had heard about a magical rainbow berry that grew deep within the forest, and he was determined to find it. With his small paws and a backpack made from leaves, Pip set off on his grand adventure. As Pip hopped along the forest path, he encountered friendly butterflies and chatty birds. The wise old owl, Oliver, perched on a branch and shared stories of the mystical rainbow berry's incredible powers. It was said that whoever found the berry would be granted a wish. Excitement bubbled inside Pip as he ventured further, leaping over mossy rocks and skipping over babbling brooks. Suddenly, a mischievous bunny named Benny appeared, offering to join Pip on his quest. Together, they giggled and played, making their journey even more delightful. As they delved deeper into the forest, the trees seemed to whisper tales of magical creatures and hidden wonders. Pip's heart danced with joy, and he couldn't wait to discover the rainbow berry's enchanting secret. Finally, after much exploration, Pip and Benny stumbled upon a clearing bathed in golden sunlight. There, beneath a sparkling waterfall, the mythical rainbow berry glistened. Pip's eyes widened, and Benny gasped in awe. With a grateful heart, Pip plucked the rainbow berry and made his wish. In an instant, the forest echoed with laughter, and colorful confetti rained down. Pip's wish had come true. The enchanted forest was now filled with everlasting joy and happiness. Pip and Benny celebrated their triumph with a joyful dance, their laughter echoing through the trees. The little pappy had not only found the magical rainbow berry but had also discovered that the greatest adventures are best shared with friends. And so, in the heart of the enchanted forest, Pip and Benny continued to explore, spreading happiness wherever they went. Subscribe. A Sunset Snack Fiesta. Once upon a time in the magical land of Munchington, a group of animal friends gathered for their favorite time of the day, snack time. The sun was shining brightly, and a gentle breeze carried the delicious scent of treats through the air. In a cozy burrow, Benny the bunny was busy arranging a variety of snacks on a big leaf. There were crunchy carrot sticks, juicy berries, and even a few honey-dipped nuts. Benny couldn't wait for his friends to join him. Samantha the squirrel scampered down from her treetop home, and Oliver the owl hooted a cheerful greeting as he flew in with a bag of his famous acorn cookies. The friends laughed and chatted as they nibbled on their snacks. Just as they were enjoying the tasty treats, Rusty the raccoon appeared with a surprise, a basket full of rainbow-colored fruit skewers. The friends were delighted and couldn't resist the vibrant display of fruits. As they savored their snacks, the friends shared stories of their day and giggled at funny jokes. They even played a game of musical acorns, where they passed around a bag of acorns while music played, and whoever held the bag when the music stopped got to share a silly joke. The sun began to set, casting a warm glow over Munchington. The friends gathered their leftovers and waved goodbye, promising to meet again for another snack-time adventure. And so, in the heart of Munchington, where friendship and delicious treats went hand in hand, the animals enjoyed their snack time, creating sweet memories that would last a lifetime. Greedy Mouse. Once upon a time in a cozy little burrow, there lived a mischievous mouse named Milo. Milo was known far and wide for his insatiable appetite and his love for cheese. He couldn't resist the delicious aroma of cheese that wafted through the air. One day, Milo discovered a magical cheese tree deep in the heart of the meadow. The tree was adorned with the most tempting, golden cheese wheels he had ever seen. Unable to control his greed, Milo began plucking cheese from the tree with glee. The more he ate, the more he wanted. As Milo indulged in his feast, the magical cheese tree started to shrink. Little did Milo know that the tree's magic was fueled by kindness and sharing. The more he took without giving back, the smaller the tree became. One night, as Milo slept, a wise old owl named Oliver appeared before him. Oliver explained the magic of the cheese tree and warned Milo about the consequences of his greed. Realizing his mistake, Milo felt a pang of guilt. Determined to make amends, Milo decided to share the remaining cheese with his fellow meadow creatures. As he shared, the magic of the cheese tree began to restore itself. The once shrunken tree came back to its full glory. Milo learned a valuable lesson that day about the importance of sharing and kindness. From then on, he became the most generous mouse in the meadow, and his burrow was filled with laughter and friendship. And so, Milo and his friends lived happily ever after, surrounded by the magic of the cheese tree. The Bear and the Mouse. Once upon a time in the cozy town of Meadowville, there lived a little mouse named Oliver who loved to explore. One sunny afternoon, while scampering through the field, Oliver stumbled upon a peculiar sight, a shiny, sparkling bottle with a label that read, "Magic Bubbles." Curiosity getting the best of him, Oliver decided to investigate. To his surprise, the bottle was filled with a fizzy, golden liquid. He felt a burst of energy. Little did Oliver know, it was a magical brew that made him as bubbly as the drink itself. Excited, Oliver danced around, creating a trail of sparkling bubbles wherever he went. The enchanted bubbles floated through Meadowville, capturing the attention of all the forest creatures. Birds chirped in delight, rabbits hopped around, and even the wise old owl couldn't resist joining the bubbly celebration. As the sun set, Oliver realized the magic was fading. He thanked the mysterious bubbles for the joy they brought and returned to his mouse hole. From that day on, whenever Meadowville needed a bit of magic, Oliver would sip from the bottle, and the town would come alive with laughter and cheer. And so, the little mouse and his magical bubbles became the heartwarming tale told to generations of Meadowville residents, reminding everyone that sometimes a sip of something special can bring joy to the most unexpected places. Kids Storybooks. Subscribe. Leo the Tiger. Once upon a time, in the heart of the lush and vibrant jungle, lived Leo the Tiger, a playful and curious young cub with the most dazzling orange fur and the brightest blue eyes. Leo was no ordinary tiger. He was known for his adventurous spirit and love for exploring. One sunny day, Leo decided to venture into the deep, mysterious forest. As he strolled along the winding path, he encountered various animal friends, chatty monkeys, colorful parrots, and even a wise old elephant named Ellie. Leo's heart filled with joy as he made new friends and listened to their stories. As Leo continued his journey, he stumbled upon a clearing where a group of mischievous monkeys had taken all the fruits from the trees. The other animals looked worried,
But Leo wasn't about to let his friends go hungry. With a twinkle in his eye, he hatched a clever plan. Leo gathered his animal pals and together they devised a playful scheme to retrieve the fruits from the mischievous monkeys. With a mix of laughter and teamwork, they managed to outsmart the monkeys and return the stolen fruits to their rightful place. From that day on, Leo the tiger became a hero in the jungle, celebrated for his bravery and cleverness. The jungle echoed with laughter and the joy of newfound friendships, all thanks to Leo and his adventurous spirit. And so, Leo continued to explore, making the jungle a brighter and happier place for everyone.
Kids Storybooks. Subscribe.
A rabbit and a tortoise. Once upon a time in the peaceful meadow, there lived a speedy rabbit named Rosie and a slow but steady tortoise named Timmy. They were the best of friends, despite their differences. One sunny day, Rosie had an idea. "Let's have a race, Timmy," she exclaimed, her ears perking up with excitement. Timmy, being calm and composed, agreed with a wise nod. The race day arrived, and all the animals gathered to watch. The rabbit hopped and leapt ahead, leaving a trail of dust behind. Timmy, on the other hand, moved at a slow and steady pace, not bothered by Rosie's speed. As the race continued, Rosie couldn't resist showing off her agility by doing somersaults and fancy jumps. However, she soon grew tired, while Timmy kept moving forward with determination. In the end, Rosie found herself napping under a tree while Timmy crossed the finish line. The animals were amazed at his steady progress. Rosie woke up and joined the celebration, realizing that speed isn't always the key to success. From that day forward, Rosie and Timmy continued to be best friends, learning that each had their own strengths. And in the meadow, the lesson of the slow and steady tortoise was cherished by all the animals, big and small.
Kids Storybooks. Subscribe.
Physical exercise. Once upon a time in the vibrant town of Happable, there lived a group of energetic animals who loved to play and have fun. However, one sunny day, they realized that they needed to stay healthy and strong, so they decided to embark on an exciting adventure of physical exercise. The leader of the group, a wise old turtle named Toby, gathered all the animals in the town square. He explained the importance of staying active and healthy, and how exercise could make them feel strong and full of energy. The animals were excited and ready to begin their exercise journey. They started with a lively game of tag, around the town. Then, laughing and cheering as they sprinted towards the finish line. Next, they formed a circle and practiced stretching their limbs. The wise old turtle demonstrated slow and steady movements, showing everyone how to reach for the sky and touch their toes. The animals followed along, feeling their muscles warm up and become more flexible. As the sun began to set, the tired but happy animals gathered once more in the town square. They thanked Toby for teaching them the importance of physical exercise and promised to make it a part of their daily routine. From that day forward, the lively town of Happable became even more joyful as the animals continued to play, exercise, and live happily ever after.
Kids Storybooks. Subscribe.
Foolish Lion. Once upon a time, in the heart of the jungle, there lived a lion named Leo. Leo was known for his golden mane and his booming roar, but sadly, he was also known for being the most foolish lion in the jungle. One day, Leo overheard the other animals talking about a magical tree that bore the sweetest fruits anyone had ever tasted. Determined to prove he was the bravest, Leo set off on a quest to find this enchanted tree. As Leo journeyed through the dense forest, he encountered various challenges, like crossing a roaring river and navigating a thorny thicket. Each time, instead of using his wit, Leo charged forward, getting himself into even more trouble. Finally, after days of stumbling through the jungle, Leo stumbled upon the magical tree. The sweet aroma of its fruits filled the air. However, instead of enjoying the moment, Leo, in his foolishness, decided to climb the tree to get an even better view of the jungle. But lions are not known for their climbing skills, and soon enough, Leo found himself stuck high up in the branches. The other animals gathered below, chuckling at Leo's predicament. In the end, it was the wise old owl who flew up and rescued Leo, gently guiding him back to the ground. Leo learned an important lesson that day: sometimes, it's better to think before you roar. And from that day on, the jungle echoed with laughter, as Leo's foolish adventure became a favorite tale among all the animals.
Kids Storybooks. Subscribe.
The Farmer's Gift. Once upon a time, in a peaceful village surrounded by lush green fields, there lived a kind-hearted farmer named Mr. Brown. He had 4 energetic and adventurous sons: Peter, Jack, Tom, and Tim. Mr. Brown's farm was filled with all kinds of animals and colorful crops. The 4 brothers loved helping their father with the chores. Each son had a special talent. Peter was the best at planting seeds. Jack had a way with animals. Tom was great at fixing things, and Tim had a green thumb for growing vegetables. One sunny day, Mr. Brown gathered his sons and shared exciting news. He had a magical seed that, when planted, would grow into a tree with the most delicious fruits the village had ever seen. The catch was that each son had to plant his seed in a different part of the farm. The brothers eagerly accepted the challenge. Peter planted his seed near the river, Jack chose a spot by the barn, Tom planted his near the farmhouse, and Tim picked a sunny corner of the vegetable patch. As the seasons changed, the magical trees grew tall and strong. The fruits were indeed extraordinary. They sparkled with different colors, and each had a unique flavor. The brothers decided to share the fruits with the entire village, making everyone happy and grateful for the generous farmer and his 4 sons. And so, the Brown family continued to live happily, surrounded by the magic they had planted together on their beloved farm. The end.
Kids Storybooks. Subscribe.
The Little Deer and Mischievous Monkey. Once upon a time in the heart of the enchanted forest, there lived a little deer named Daisy and a mischievous monkey named Milo. They were the best of friends, always exploring the magical wonders around them. One sunny morning, Daisy and Milo decided to embark on a thrilling adventure to find the legendary Rainbow Meadow. The friends giggled and pranced through the emerald green forest, their excitement echoing through the trees. As they journeyed deeper into the woods, the duo encountered a sparkling stream. Milo, the curious monkey, swung from tree branches, trying to catch the glimmering fireflies dancing above the water. Daisy, the gentle deer, drank from the crystal clear stream, her eyes reflecting the magic that surrounded them. Their laughter attracted a wise old owl named Oliver. With a hoot, Oliver shared the secret to finding the Rainbow Meadow: kindness. The friends, inspired by this wisdom, set out on their quest with warm hearts. Through thickets and over hills, Daisy and Milo encountered challenges that tested their friendship. Yet, with each obstacle, their bond grew stronger. Finally, as the sun dipped below the horizon, they discovered the hidden Rainbow Meadow. Colors burst from the flowers, creating a breathtaking display that lit up the night. Hand in paw, hook in hand, Daisy and Milo danced beneath the radiant rainbow. They realized that the true magic of the forest was not just in its enchanting beauty but in the friendship they shared. With hearts full of joy, they promised to explore many more wonders together in their beloved enchanted forest.
Kids Storybooks. Subscribe.
This tricky mistake. Once upon a time in the colorful town of whimsical, there lived a mischievous little bunny named Benny. Benny loved playing pranks on his friends, but his favorite trick was to paint everyone's houses in bright, mismatched colors while they were away. One day, Benny decided to play an even bigger prank. He found a mysterious potion in his grandma's attic labeled, "Foolish Fizz." Ignoring the warning label, Benny thought it would be hilarious to pour it into the town's fountain. As soon as Benny poured the potion into the water, bubbles of laughter filled the air. The townsfolk, once serious and responsible, began acting silly and making silly decisions. The mayor painted polka dots on his suit, and the librarian started reading books upside down. At first, Whimsical was a giggling and joyful place, but soon the consequences of their foolishness became clear. The bakers used marshmallows instead of flour, and the farmers tried to grow candy canes instead of vegetables. Realizing the chaos he had caused, Benny felt guilty. Determined to make things right, he sought the help of the wise old owl, Professor Hoots. With a clever antidote, they turned the town's fountain back to normal, and the laughter bubbles disappeared. The townsfolk, now wiser and grateful for their ordinary lives, forgave Benny. From that day on, Benny learned that some pranks can lead to foolishness, and it's essential to think before you act. Whimsical returned to its colorful charm, but Benny became the town's prankster with a heart of gold, always making sure his tricks brought laughter without any foolish consequences.
Kids Storybooks. Subscribe.
A Good Citizen. Once upon a time, in the cheerful town of Harmonyville, there lived a little girl named Lily. Lily was known for her kind heart and helpful nature. She loved her town and always wanted to make it a better place. One day, Harmonyville faced a big challenge. A storm had left the streets messy with fallen leaves and branches. Instead of complaining, Lily grabbed a broom and set out to clean up her neighborhood. She sang a happy tune as she swept the sidewalks, inspiring others to join in. Lily's positive attitude didn't stop there. When she noticed an elderly neighbor struggling to carry groceries, she rushed over to help. She also planted colorful flowers in the town square to bring joy to everyone. Lily was a shining example of a good citizen, always thinking of others and doing her part to make Harmonyville a wonderful community. The mayor of Harmonyville heard about Lily's kindness and decided to celebrate her as the Good Citizen of the Month. Lily beamed with pride, knowing that her small acts of goodness had made a big impact. From that day on, Lily continued to be a beacon of positivity in Harmonyville, reminding everyone that being a good citizen was as simple as lending a helping hand and spreading a little happiness. And so, the town thrived, thanks to the efforts of one small girl with a big heart.
Kids Storybooks. Subscribe.
A climate adventure for kids. Once upon a time, in the enchanting land of Greenhaven, lived a group of animals who were the best of friends. There was Benny the bunny, Lila the lizard, and Ollie the owl. They spent their days playing and exploring the lush, vibrant forest that surrounded their homes. One sunny day, as they gathered near the sparkling river, Benny noticed something unusual. The river, once full and lively, seemed to be shrinking. Concerned, the friends decided to investigate. They hopped, slithered, and flew through the forest, discovering that many trees were losing their leaves, and the once clear skies were often gray. They gathered all the animals in Greenhaven and held a meeting. Ollie, with his wise owl eyes, explained that their home was facing a problem called climate change. The friends learned that the activities of the creatures in Greenhaven were affecting the world around them. Determined to make a positive change, the animals decided to plant more trees, conserve water, and reduce their use of energy. They spread the word to other magical lands, inspiring everyone to take care of their homes too. With teamwork and determination, Greenhaven transformed into an even more beautiful place, and the friends lived happily ever after, knowing they had made a difference in the world by taking care of their home and each other.
Kids Storybooks. Subscribe.
The magic of renewable energy. Once upon a time in the cheerful town of Greenhaven, the sun was shining brightly, and the wind was blowing gently. The people of Greenhaven were known for their love of nature and the environment. In the heart of the town lived a curious young girl named Lily. One day, Lily discovered a magical book in the town library. It was filled with stories about renewable energy and the wonders it could bring. Intrigued, Lily decided to learn more and make her town even more special. With the help of her friends, Lily gathered sunlight and wind to power colorful turbines. They created a garden filled with tall sunflowers that absorbed sunlight and turned it into energy. The town sparkled with joy as renewable energy lit up every home. Lily and her friends also found a way to capture the power of the playful river that flowed through Greenhaven. They built water wheels that spun with giggles of delight, generating energy for the entire town. As the days went by, Greenhaven became a beacon of clean and green energy. Lily and her friends taught others the magic of renewable energy, and soon neighboring towns joined in the fun. And so, with a dash of sunshine, a breeze of wind, and a sprinkle of teamwork, Greenhaven thrived, proving that the power of renewable energy could make the world a brighter and greener place for everyone to enjoy.
Kids Storybooks. Subscribe.
A bright solution to load shedding. Once upon a time in the colorful town of Sparksville, a magical place where the sun always shone bright and the laughter of children filled the air, something peculiar started happening. Every now and then, the town experienced a mysterious event called load shedding. Load shedding was a peculiar occurrence where the lights in Sparksville would suddenly go out, leaving the town in darkness. The townsfolk would gather in the central square, puzzled but not afraid. They knew that load shedding was a magical event, and it brought a sense of adventure to their otherwise ordinary lives. One day, a brave little girl named Emma decided to investigate the mystery of load shedding. Armed with a flashlight and a curious heart, she ventured into the darkened streets. To her surprise, she discovered that load shedding was caused by a mischievous cloud named Ziggy. Ziggy loved to play hide and seek with the sun, and whenever he successfully hid the sun, load shedding occurred. Emma, being a clever girl, decided to befriend Ziggy and convinced him to play a game that everyone could enjoy. They played a game of Sun and Clouds, where Ziggy took turns hiding and revealing the sun. From that day forward, load shedding became a fun and exciting event in Sparksville. The townsfolk eagerly awaited the day when Ziggy would play his magical game, and the town would light up with joy once more. And so, Sparksville continued to be a place filled with laughter, friendship, and the occasional game of sun and clouds.
Kids Storybooks. Subscribe.
A magical book fair. Once upon a time, in the colorful town of Storyville, there was great excitement in the air. The annual book fair was just around the corner, and all the little bookworms were buzzing with anticipation. As the sun painted the sky with hues of pink and orange, families gathered in the town square, where tents and booths stood proudly, showcasing a world of wonders within their pages. Bella, a curious little girl with glasses perched on her nose, couldn't wait to explore the magical realm of books. Her eyes widened with joy as she entered the fair. The sweet aroma of popcorn wafted through the air as she navigated through the aisles of books, each cover more enchanting than the last. There were tales of brave dragons, mischievous fairies, and talking animals that captured Bella's imagination. At the heart of the fair, a wise old storyteller spun captivating tales, drawing children like magnets to his storytelling circle. Bella sat cross-legged, mesmerized by the words that transported her to far-off lands. With a twinkle in her eye, Bella found the perfect book, a treasure trove of adventures waiting to be discovered. As the sun dipped below the horizon, she clutched her new friend tightly, promising to return next year for another magical journey at the book fair. And so, the little town of Storyville continued to celebrate the joy of reading, where every book held the key to a new and exciting adventure.
Kids Storybooks. Subscribe.
A Life of a Farmer. Once upon a time in the quaint village of Sunnyvale, there lived a cheerful farmer named Oliver Greenfield. His farm, filled with vibrant crops and friendly animals, was the heart of the community. Every morning, Oliver would wake up with the rooster's crow, ready to tend to his fields. With his trusty dog, Daisy, by his side, he planted seeds with love and care. The sun beamed down, and raindrops danced on the leaves, creating a magical symphony of growth. Oliver's days were filled with laughter and hard work. He sang to the crops, and they seemed to sway in harmony. His hands, weathered from years of farming, held the secret to nurturing life from the soil. Seasons changed, and so did the farm. In the summer, the fields were a canvas of green, with tomatoes blushing and corn standing tall. Autumn brought a burst of colors as pumpkins adorned the land. Winter's blanket of snow transformed the farm into a serene wonderland. The farm wasn't just about crops, it was a home for animals too. Chickens clucked, cows mooed, and sheep baaed, creating a lively chorus. Oliver treated them like family, and in return, they filled the air with warmth. As the sun dipped below the horizon, Oliver sat on his porch, gazing at the stars. His heart swelled with gratitude for the simple joys of farm life. The village of Sunnyvale thrived because of Oliver's hard work and love for the land, making it a place where dreams and harvests grew as abundantly as the smiles on the faces of the villagers. And so, the story of the happy farmer and his lively farm continued, painting the countryside with a brush of joy for generations to come.
Kids Storybooks. Subscribe.
An honest elephant. Once upon a time, in the heart of the enchanted jungle, there lived an honest elephant named Ellie. Ellie had the most beautiful, twinkling eyes that sparkled with sincerity. She was known throughout the jungle for always telling the truth, no matter what. One sunny day, Ellie's friend Sammy the squirrel approached her with a problem. "Ellie, I accidentally knocked over the honey pot at the bear family's picnic, and I'm scared they'll be mad. What should I do?" Sammy asked nervously. Ellie smiled warmly and said, "Sammy, honesty is the best policy. Let's go together and apologize to the bears. I'm sure they'll appreciate your honesty." So, Ellie and Sammy marched over to the bear family, and Sammy admitted his mistake. To their surprise, instead of being angry, the bears appreciated Sammy's honesty and thanked him for being truthful. From that day on, Ellie's reputation for honesty spread even further in the enchanted jungle. The other animals soon learned the valuable lesson that honesty not only builds trust but also leads to stronger friendships. And so, the enchanted jungle became a place where everyone, inspired by Ellie, embraced the magic of honesty.
Kids Storybooks. Subscribe.
A fisherman and a magical fish. Once upon a time in the small village of Seashell Bay, there lived a kind-hearted fisherman named Captain Finn. Captain Finn loved the sea more than anything else in the world. Every morning, he would set sail on his colorful boat, the Ocean Dreamer, with his trusty cat, Seashell, by his side. One sunny day, as Captain Finn cast his net into the sparkling waters, he felt a tug so strong that it nearly pulled him overboard. With excitement in his eyes, he struggled to reel in his catch. To his surprise, instead of fish, he pulled up a magical, shimmering fish with scales that sparkled like a rainbow. The magical fish spoke in a gentle voice, "Thank you, Captain Finn, for freeing me from the net. In return, I grant you 3 wishes." Captain Finn couldn't believe his luck. He thought for a moment and then wished for endless fish to feed the hungry villagers, a healthy and vibrant sea, and a special gift for each child in the village. As soon as Captain Finn made his wishes, the magical fish disappeared, leaving behind a sea filled with abundant fish, thriving with life. The children in Seashell Bay discovered colorful seashells on the shore, each one holding a special surprise. Captain Finn's kindness had not only filled the bellies of the villagers but also brought joy to the hearts of the children. From that day forward, Captain Finn and Seashell continued their adventures on the Ocean Dreamer, sharing the magic of the sea with everyone in Seashell Bay. And so, the village lived happily ever after, thanks to the generous heart of Captain Finn and the magical fish of Seashell Bay.
Kids Storybooks. Subscribe.
A good teacher. Once upon a time in the colorful town of Harmonyville, there was a magical school called Rainbow Elementary. At Rainbow Elementary, there was a teacher named Miss Sparkle, who was known for her extraordinary kindness and the ability to make learning a magical adventure. Miss Sparkle had a special gift. She could turn ordinary lessons into exciting stories filled with laughter and joy. Her classroom was a haven of creativity and imagination. One day, she decided to teach her students about the wonders of nature. With a wave of her sparkly wand, the classroom transformed into a lush forest. The desks became trees, and the walls were painted with vibrant flowers. The children were amazed as they embarked on a journey to discover the secrets of the enchanted woods. Miss Sparkle introduced them to talking animals who shared wisdom about teamwork, kindness, and the importance of learning from each other. The students were captivated by the magical tales and learned valuable lessons that went beyond textbooks. As the bell rang, signaling the end of the day, the children left with hearts full of gratitude for their wonderful teacher. Miss Sparkle's magic wasn't just in the stories, it was in the way she made each student feel special and encouraged them to believe in their own abilities. And so, every day at Rainbow Elementary was a new adventure with Miss Sparkle, where learning was not just about books and lessons but about discovering the magic within each child.
Kids Storybooks. Subscribe.
A good friend. Once upon a time in the colorful town of Harmonyville, there lived two best friends named Lily and Benny. They were inseparable, sharing laughter, adventures, and a love for exploring the world around them. One sunny day, Lily discovered a mysterious map in her attic. Excited, she showed it to Benny, and together they decided to embark on a treasure hunt. The map led them through enchanted forests, across bubbling streams, and over hills covered in wildflowers. As they journeyed, they encountered challenges that tested their friendship. Benny encouraged Lily when she felt scared, and Lily helped Benny when he stumbled over rocks. Their friendship became their greatest strength. Finally, they reached the spot marked on the map and uncovered a chest filled with glittering jewels. Instead of keeping the treasure for themselves, Lily and Benny decided to share it with their friends in Harmonyville, spreading joy and happiness throughout the town. From that day forward, Lily and Benny's friendship shone as brightly as the jewels they had discovered. They continued to explore, laugh, and face challenges together, proving that the true treasure in life is having a good friend by your side. And so, in the heart of Harmonyville, the legend of Lily and Benny's friendship became a cherished tale for generations to come.
Kids Storybooks. Subscribe.
A magical morning. Once upon a time in the small town of Sunflowerville, there lived a little bunny named Benny. Benny loved to sleep in, snuggling under his cozy carrot-shaped blanket until the sun was high in the sky. One day, Benny's friend, Rosie the rooster, visited him with an exciting idea. "Hey Benny, how about we become early risers and see what adventures the morning has to offer?" suggested Rosie, flapping her colorful feathers. Benny hesitated, unsure about leaving his warm bed so early. But Rosie's enthusiasm was contagious, and he decided to give it a try. The next morning, before the sun had even peeked over the horizon, Benny and Rosie tiptoed out of their burrow. As they explored Sunflowerville in the quiet dawn, they discovered magical dewdrops on the flowers, a sleepy butterfly opening its wings for the first time, and the cheerful chirping of early birds. Benny couldn't believe how much beauty and joy the early hours held. From that day on, Benny and Rosie became the town's early risers, spreading the joy of mornings to all their friends. Sunflowerville became a happier place as everyone embraced the magic of starting the day with a smile. And so, Benny and Rosie learned that the early bird catches not only the worm but also the wonders of a brand new day.
Kids Storybooks. Subscribe.
The adventure of growing a magical forest. Once upon a time in the bustling town of Greenhaven, there lived a group of cheerful friends named Daisy, Benny, and Oliver. One sunny day, as they played in their favorite meadow, they noticed something extraordinary, a magical talking tree named Willow. Willow had a plea for the children. Dear friends, our beautiful home, the forest, is shrinking. I need your help to plant more trees and keep our home green and healthy. Excited by the idea of an adventure, Daisy, Benny, and Oliver eagerly set out to gather seeds from different trees in the forest. They giggled with joy as they collected acorns, pine cones, and tiny seeds from colorful flowers. With the help of the wise old owl, Ollie, the children learned how to plant the seeds properly. They dug tiny holes in the soil, gently placed the seeds inside, and covered them with love and care. Days turned into weeks, and soon, tiny green shoots emerged from the soil. The meadow was transforming into a vibrant forest right before their eyes. Willow, the magical tree, shimmered with happiness, thanking the children for their hard work. The once small forest grew into a magnificent sanctuary for birds, squirrels, and butterflies. The air was filled with the sweet fragrance of blossoming flowers. Daisy, Benny, and Oliver were proud guardians of the magical forest, always remembering the importance of tree plantation in keeping their world happy and healthy. And so, in the heart of Greenhaven, the children and the magical tree lived happily ever after, surrounded by the lush beauty of the forest they had planted together.
Kids Storybooks. Subscribe.
A Tailless Fox. Once upon a time, in the heart of the enchanted forest, there lived a fox named Felix. What made Felix unique was his missing tail. Unlike other foxes, Felix had no fluffy tail to wag or use for balance. Felix didn't mind being different. In fact, he embraced it. However, his tailless state sometimes made him feel a bit left out during the forest's lively gatherings. One sunny day, Felix decided it was time to change his perspective. He embarked on a quest to find a magical tail that would make him feel complete. Along the way, he met a wise old owl named Oliver, who shared a valuable secret with him. You don't need a tail to be special, Felix, said Oliver. Your uniqueness lies in your heart and actions. Inspired by these words, Felix decided to embrace his tailless charm and share his positivity with the forest creatures. He organized fun games and activities that didn't require a tail, bringing joy to all. As the days passed, Felix became the most beloved resident of the enchanted forest. The other animals realized that true happiness came from within and didn't depend on appearances. And so, the tailless fox taught everyone a valuable lesson, that being different is what makes each creature in the enchanted forest truly magical. From that day forward, Felix lived happily ever after, his heart brimming with the warmth of acceptance and friendship.
Kids Storybooks. Subscribe.
Sin by greed is death by sin. Once upon a time in the colorful town of Harmonyville, there lived a little bunny named Benny. Benny was known for his love of shiny things. He would spend hours collecting the brightest and shiniest objects he could find. One day, Benny heard about a magical garden hidden deep in the enchanted forest. Rumor had it that the garden was filled with the most dazzling jewels imaginable. Greed sparkled in Benny's eyes as he decided to embark on a journey to find this extraordinary treasure. As Benny journeyed into the heart of the enchanted forest, he faced challenges and obstacles. However, his desire for more and more shiny things blinded him to the beauty of the forest and the joy of the journey. Finally, after days of searching, Benny reached the magical garden. To his amazement, the garden was indeed filled with magnificent jewels of all colors and shapes. Benny's heart raced with excitement as he began stuffing his pockets with the precious treasures. But as he greedily gathered more and more, the once vibrant garden began to wither and lose its magic. The magical creatures who guarded the garden appeared, their eyes filled with disappointment. They explained that Benny's greed had drained the garden of its enchantment, and now it would never shine again. Benny, now surrounded by dull and lifeless jewels, realized the true cost of his greed. With a heavy heart, he returned to Harmonyville, learning that sometimes, the pursuit of more can lead to the loss of what truly matters. From that day on, Benny became known as the bunny who learned that greed brings downfall, and he spent his days helping others and cherishing the simple joys of life.
Storybooks. Subscribe.
Leo's roar of confidence. Once upon a time, in the heart of the vast and colorful savannah, there lived a proud and majestic lion named Leo. Leo was not just any lion. He had a magnificent golden mane that sparkled under the warm African sun. Leo loved to roam the grassy plains, his mighty roar echoing through the land, declaring his pride. All the animals respected and admired him, for Leo was not just the king of the jungle, but the pride of the entire savannah. One day, a group of young cubs gathered around Leo, their eyes wide with awe. They asked, "Why are you so proud, Leo?" Leo smiled and shared his wisdom with the curious cubs. "I am proud because I embrace who I am and what I stand for. I protect my pride and all the creatures in the savannah. It's important to be proud of your strengths and use them to make the world a better place." The cubs listened attentively, their tiny tails swaying with excitement. From that day on, they carried Leo's message in their hearts, growing up to be strong and proud animals who, just like Leo, made the savannah a harmonious and joyful home for everyone. And so, the legend of the proud lion, Leo, lived on, inspiring generations of young animals to embrace their strengths and be proud of who they are.
Kids Storybooks. Subscribe.
A little clever monkey. Once upon a time, in a lush jungle far away, there lived a clever little monkey named Milo. Milo wasn't like the other monkeys who spent their days swinging from trees and munching on bananas. No, Milo had a mischievous spark in his eyes and a mind full of curious ideas. One sunny morning, Milo spotted a basket of juicy mangoes left unattended near the edge of the village. The aroma of ripe mangoes filled the air, tempting Milo's senses. But there was a problem. The basket was guarded by a fierce-looking parrot named Polly. Instead of giving up, Milo put on his thinking cap. He noticed that Polly loved to boast about her colorful feathers. So, Milo came up with a plan. He gathered some bright flowers and shiny leaves and crafted a dazzling necklace. With his creation in hand, Milo approached Polly. "Wow, Polly, your feathers are beautiful, but I thought you might like something to make them shine even more," Milo said, offering the necklace. Polly's eyes gleamed with excitement as she accepted the gift, completely forgetting about the mangoes. While Polly admired her new necklace, Milo swiftly grabbed a mango and dashed away, his tail swishing with victory. From that day on, Milo's cleverness was known throughout the jungle, proving that even the smallest creature can outsmart the biggest challenges. And so, Milo continued to roam the jungle, always ready for his next adventure.
Kids Storybooks. Subscribe.
The great transformation transformation of Batman. Once upon a time, in the cheerful town of Harmonyville, lived a mischievous man named Grumbleton. Grumbleton had a peculiar dislike for laughter, happiness, and all things bright and colorful. He would slink around in his dark cape, casting shadows wherever he went, and his scowl could make even the sun hide behind the clouds. One day, Grumbleton decided to spread his gloominess by stealing all the toys from the children in Harmonyville. As he tiptoed through the town, his eyes gleamed with mischief. He snatched teddy bears, dolls, and toy cars, leaving behind a trail of saddened children. The townsfolk, noticing the disappearing toys, gathered to devise a plan. They decided that the key to defeating Grumbleton was to outshine his darkness with the brilliance of kindness and laughter. The next day, they organized a grand parade filled with music, dancing, and laughter. As the lively parade passed Grumbleton's gloomy abode, something magical happened. The joyful melodies and infectious laughter pierced through his heart, softening it like never before. Overwhelmed by the warmth of happiness, Grumbleton couldn't help but join the celebration. From that day forward, Grumbleton transformed into a changed man. The townspeople's kindness and laughter had melted away his bitterness, and he became a friend to everyone in Harmonyville. The once bad man learned the power of joy and love, proving that sometimes, all it takes is a little brightness to turn someone's life around. And so, Harmonyville remained a town filled with laughter and happiness, teaching everyone the importance of compassion and understanding.
Subscribe.
Guruji's gift of friendship. Once upon a time in a peaceful village nestled between lush green hills, there lived a wise and gentle sadhu named Guruji. With a long white beard and a saffron robe, Guruji was known for his kind heart and compassionate nature. One sunny morning, as the children played by the river, they noticed Guruji sitting under a banyan tree, looking contemplative. Curiosity sparkled in their eyes as they gathered around him, eager to hear a tale. Guruji began, long ago, in a faraway land, there was a little village much like ours. The people were kind and loving, always helping one another. However, there was a lonely sadhu who wandered into the village, carrying a heavy heart. The children listened intently as Guruji continued. The sadhu longed for companionship, but the villagers were too busy to notice him. He felt sad and lonely, yearning for a friend to share his wisdom and laughter. As the story unfolded, the children realized the importance of kindness and friendship. Inspired by Guruji's words, they decided to befriend the lonely and help those in need. From that day on, the village echoed with laughter and warmth, all thanks to the wise sadhu who taught them the true meaning of compassion. And so, the story of Guruji's wisdom spread far and wide, reminding everyone that a kind heart can make the world a brighter place.
Kids Storybooks. Subscribe.
A struggling woman. Once upon a time, in a small village, there lived a kind-hearted woman named Rosie. Rosie worked tirelessly to make ends meet, but life was tough, and every day seemed like a new challenge. Rosie had a magical garden where she planted colorful flowers and tasty vegetables. Despite her struggles, she always shared the beauty of her garden with the village children. One day, a little girl named Lily noticed Rosie's hard work and decided to help. Together, they planted more seeds, watered the plants, and tended to the garden with love. As the garden flourished, so did the sense of community in the village. The vibrant colors and delicious scents attracted not only the children but the entire neighborhood. Word spread about Rosie's magical garden, and soon, people from neighboring villages visited, bringing smiles and joy to everyone. The struggling woman had unintentionally created a haven of happiness for her community. Inspired by Rosie's determination, the villagers began to support each other, turning their challenges into opportunities. The once struggling woman, Rosie, found strength in unity, and her garden became a symbol of hope and resilience for generations to come. And so, in the little village, the magic of kindness and cooperation transformed adversity into a flourishing tale of love and togetherness.
Kids Storybooks. Subscribe.
The giant who learned to share. Once upon a time, in a faraway land, there was a giant named Grumble. Grumble was the biggest giant in the land, but he was also the most selfish. His garden, filled with vibrant flowers and lush green grass, was surrounded by a towering wall that kept all the children out. One day, as Grumble was enjoying the beauty of his garden, he noticed a group of children playing on the other side of the wall. Their laughter and joy reached his ears, and a pang of loneliness struck his heart. However, instead of inviting them in, Grumble furrowed his brow and shouted, "This is my garden. No one is allowed in." The children were disappointed, but they didn't give up. Every day, they gathered near the giant's wall, hoping he would change his mind. Grumble, though, remained selfish and stubborn. One night, a magical creature visited Grumble in his dreams. It was a tiny, sparkly fairy named Harmony. She pleaded with Grumble to share his garden with the children, explaining that happiness multiplies when it is shared. Grumble woke up with a newfound understanding. The next day, he knocked down the wall and invited the children into his garden. As they played together, Grumble's heart warmed, and he realized that true happiness came from sharing and caring for others. From that day forward, Grumble became the kindest giant in the land, and his garden became a magical place where laughter and joy echoed through the air. And so, the once selfish giant learned that sharing brought the most beautiful blossoms to his heart.
Kids Storybooks. Subscribe.
Sabir's winning ticket. Once upon a time in the small town of Harmonyville, there lived a young boy named Sabir. He was an ordinary boy with an extraordinary dream, to bring joy and happiness to everyone in his town. One day, as Sabir was walking home from school, he noticed a colorful flyer that read, "Lucky Lottery, win a wish." Excitement bubbled within Sabir as he decided to try his luck. With his spare change, he bought a lottery ticket and eagerly waited for the results. Days passed, and the whole town buzzed with anticipation. Finally, the day arrived when the results were announced. The townspeople gathered in the central square, and the lottery drum was spun. As luck would have it, Sabir's ticket emerged as the winner. His eyes widened with disbelief, and a joyful cheer erupted from the crowd. Sabir's wish was simple yet heartwarming. He wished to create a magical playground for all the children in Harmonyville. With the prize money, he transformed an empty field into a vibrant play area, complete with swings, slides, and a colorful merry-go-round. The once dull field now echoed with laughter and delight as children of all ages played together. Sabir's lottery win had turned his dream into a reality, spreading happiness throughout Harmonyville. From that day forward, the town knew that dreams could come true, even for a young boy like Sabir, who simply wanted to make the world a brighter place. And so, the little town continued to thrive with the joy that Sabir's lottery win had brought to its heart.
Kids Storybooks. Subscribe.
A village fair. Once upon a time in the cheerful village of Sunnydale, the townsfolk were buzzing with excitement because it was time for the annual village fair. Colorful tents were being set up, and the aroma of cotton candy filled the air. In the heart of the village, children giggled as they rode the merry-go-round, and friendly ducks waddled around a shimmering pond. Mr. Whiskers, the local magician, astounded the crowd with his magical tricks, making everyone laugh and clap with joy. At the center of the fairgrounds, a Ferris wheel stood tall, offering a bird's-eye view of the entire village. Brave kids squealed with delight as they reached the top, waving at their friends below. Nearby, Mrs. Applebottom's bake sale tempted everyone with delicious treats. The aroma of freshly baked pies and cookies wafted through the air, enticing even the pickiest eaters. In a corner of the fair, a petting zoo delighted children with fluffy bunnies, gentle lambs, and even a sleepy pony. Little hands eagerly reached out to pet the furry creatures, and delighted giggles echoed throughout. As the sun began to set, the village fair sparkled with colorful lights. The townsfolk gathered around a stage for a lively talent show, showcasing the hidden talents of their neighbors. The night ended with a dazzling display of fireworks, painting the sky with bursts of brilliant colors. The village fair was a magical day filled with laughter, joy, and a sense of community, leaving everyone looking forward to the next year's celebration.
Kids Storybooks. Subscribe.
A village market. Once upon a time, in a lively village nestled between rolling hills and meandering streams, there was a bustling market that appeared every weekend. The villagers eagerly awaited this special day when the air was filled with the sweet aroma of fresh fruits, colorful flowers, and the tantalizing scent of homemade treats. As the sun rose, vendors began setting up their stalls in the heart of the village. Cheerful chatter and laughter echoed through the air as children skipped along, their eyes wide with excitement. The market was a magical place where the ordinary turned extraordinary. There was Farmer Brown, with his bountiful harvest of crisp apples and plump pumpkins. Mrs. Baker displayed her array of delectable pastries, tempting both young and old. The toy maker, Mr. Whimsy, had a booth filled with whimsical toys that sparked the imagination of every child. In a cozy corner, Granny Willow sat with her knitting needles clicking away, crafting warm scarves and blankets. The aroma of spicy cinnamon wafted from her corner, drawing in visitors who couldn't resist the charm of her cozy creations. Families strolled through the market, hand in hand, sharing stories and laughter. The village market was not just a place to buy and sell, it was a place where the heart of the community thrived, a vibrant tapestry woven with friendship, warmth, and the joy of simple pleasures. And so, every weekend, the village market continued to be the magical center of the villagers' lives, a place where dreams were spun and memories were made.
Kids Storybooks. Subscribe.
An unlikely friendship. Once upon a time in a cozy little house, there lived a curious cat named Whiskers and a playful mouse named Squeaky. Despite being natural enemies, Whiskers and Squeaky were the best of friends. One sunny day, Whiskers discovered a mysterious box in the corner of the living room. Intrigued, she potted it, and out popped a tiny, giggling mouse, Squeaky. The two stared at each other, surprised and confused. Instead of running away, Squeaky approached Whiskers with a friendly squeak. "Hi there, I'm Squeaky. What's your name?" Whiskers blinked in astonishment but soon replied, "I'm Whiskers. Nice to meet you." From that moment on, Whiskers and Squeaky became inseparable pals. They played hide and seek, explored the house together, and even shared delicious snacks. Whiskers learned that not all mice were meant to be chased, and Squeaky discovered that cats could be great friends. Their friendship spread joy throughout the house, reminding everyone that sometimes the most unexpected friendships are the most delightful. And so, in that cozy little house, Whiskers and Squeaky proved that even cats and mice can live happily ever after as the best of friends.
Kids Storybooks. Subscribe.
A Tale of Finding Home. Once upon a time in the cozy town of Whimsical, there lived a little bunny named Benny. Benny loved exploring the meadows and playing with his friends, but deep down, he always felt a gentle pull, a mysterious longing for something more. One bright sunny day, Benny discovered a tiny, weathered map tucked away in the hollow of an old tree. The map seemed to lead to a place called home. Benny's curiosity ignited, and he decided to embark on a grand adventure to find this elusive home. Through fields of daisies, over babbling brooks, and under the shade of towering trees, Benny followed the map's twists and turns. Along the way, he encountered helpful critters who cheered him on, reminding him that the true treasure was the journey itself. As the sun dipped below the horizon, Benny arrived at a clearing bathed in the soft glow of fireflies. To his surprise, he discovered a warm, welcoming burrow that felt just right. It wasn't a place on the map, it was a feeling of belonging. Benny had found his home right where his heart led him, surrounded by friends and the love of whimsical. And so, Benny's tale of homecoming became a cherished story in Whimsical, reminding everyone that home is not just a place, it's the love and laughter shared with those who make your heart feel at home.
Kids Storybooks. Subscribe.
A Farmer's Tale of Friendship. Once upon a time in the quaint village of Meadowville, there lived a kind-hearted farmer named Mr. Thompson. On his cozy farm, he had a special friend, a gentle and cheerful cow named Daisy. Every morning, Mr. Thompson would wake up with the rooster's crow, put on his old straw hat, and head to the barn. Daisy eagerly awaited his arrival, her big brown eyes filled with excitement. Together, they would embark on a day full of adventures. Mr. Thompson and Daisy had a unique bond. He would share his dreams and secrets with her, and she, in turn, would respond with soft, melodic moves. They would explore the vast green fields, play hide and seek in the tall cornstalks, and even have picnics under the shade of the ancient oak tree. One sunny day, Meadowville faced a big challenge. The river that supplied water to the village dried up, and the crops were wilting. Mr. Thompson and Daisy brainstormed a plan. With Daisy's help, they dug a trench to redirect water from a nearby stream, saving the day for Meadowville. From that day on, the villagers learned the true power of friendship and teamwork. Mr. Thompson and Daisy continued to make Meadowville a happy and thriving place, proving that sometimes the most unexpected friendships can bring about the greatest miracles. And so, in Meadowville, the tale of the farmer and his cow became a story passed down from generation to generation, reminding everyone that kindness and cooperation can make the world a better place.
Kids Storybooks. Subscribe.
Who is the king of the jungle? Once upon a time, in the heart of the jungle, there lived a curious lion named Leo and a playful tiger named Tessa. Leo had a golden mane that sparkled in the sunlight, while Tessa had striking orange and black stripes that shimmered like the setting sun. One sunny day, Leo and Tessa decided to explore the jungle together. As they walked side by side, they discovered a magical clearing filled with colorful flowers and butterflies. The friends couldn't believe their eyes. In the middle of the clearing, there was a mysterious stone with a message written on it. The message said, to unlock the magic of friendship, share a laugh and a song. Leo and Tessa looked at each other and giggled. They began to sing and dance, their laughter echoing through the jungle. Suddenly, the clearing lit up with a warm, magical glow. The friends found themselves surrounded by a rainbow of light. The jungle animals gathered around, joining in the joyous celebration. From that day on, Leo and Tessa became the best of friends. They shared their adventures, their laughter, and their songs, spreading joy and happiness throughout the jungle. The magical clearing became a special place where animals of all kinds came together to celebrate the enchanting bond of friendship. And so, Leo and Tessa's friendship blossomed, making the jungle a brighter and happier place for everyone.
Kids Storybooks. Subscribe.
A Panda's Promise. Once upon a time in the magical land of Greenopia, where colorful flowers danced in the breeze and happy animals played, there lived a curious young panda named Pippa. Pippa loved exploring the lush forests and splashing in the crystal clear streams. One day, as Pippa roamed through the woods, she noticed something strange. The once cool streams were now warm, and the flowers looked sad. Pippa decided to find out what was happening. With her friends, Benny the wise owl and Lulu the playful bunny, Pippa embarked on a journey to the Great Glacier, where they met Frosty the ancient snowman. Frosty explained that the world was getting warmer because of something called global warming. Pippa, Benny, and Lulu knew they had to help Greenopia. They planted more trees, recycled, and spread the word about saving energy. Slowly, the land began to heal. The streams cooled, and the flowers regained their vibrant colors. Greenopia became a happy place again, thanks to Pippa and her friends. The trio taught everyone that by taking small steps, like using less plastic and caring for the earth, they could make a big difference. And so, the land of Greenopia remained a magical haven for all its inhabitants, thanks to the power of friendship and the love for their precious planet.
Kids Storybooks. Subscribe.
An ideal student. Once upon a time in the colorful town of Liernsville, there lived a little girl named Lily. Lily was known as the ideal student because of her love for learning and kindness towards others. Lily's day started with a big smile as she eagerly hopped on the school bus. In class, she listened attentively to her teacher, Mrs. Wise Owl, and asked thoughtful questions. Lily always completed her homework on time and shared her knowledge with her classmates. During recess, Lily showed kindness by including everyone in games. She believed in teamwork and helped her friends when they struggled with their studies. Lily's positive attitude and willingness to help others made her a beloved friend to all. In the magical land of books, Lily was an adventurer. She explored faraway lands through the pages of her favorite stories, inspiring her classmates to join in the exciting journey of imagination. At the end of the school year, the town of Liernsville celebrated Lily's achievements with a grand ceremony. Lily was awarded the Golden Pencil for her hard work, kindness, and love of learning. And so, in Liernsville, Lily became the shining example of an ideal student, showing everyone that with a curious mind, a kind heart, and a sprinkle of imagination, anyone can make school a magical place for everyone.
Kids Storybooks. Subscribe.
Greedy Goblin's Pricey Pranks. Once upon a time in the colorful town of Harmonyville, everything was cheerful and lively. The townsfolk, including the friendly animals, lived happily and shared their goods without a worry. One sunny day, however, a mischievous character named Greedy Goblin arrived. Greedy Goblin had a magic bag that could make prices rise with just a touch. Curious and mischievous, he began touching everything in Harmonyville, from the bakery to the toy store. Suddenly, the price of cupcakes doubled, and the once affordable toys became too expensive. The townspeople were puzzled and concerned. They gathered in the town square, wondering why their beloved items had become so pricey. That's when Wise Owl, the town's wisest resident, stepped forward. Wise Owl explained the mischievous deeds of Greedy Goblin and reassured everyone that together, they could find a solution. The townspeople decided to spread kindness instead of complaining. They started sharing and caring for one another, making sure everyone had what they needed. As Harmonyville embraced unity and kindness, the magic bag's spell began to wear off. Greedy Goblin realized that the real magic was in the town's sense of community. The prices returned to normal, and Harmonyville continued to be a joyful place, teaching everyone the importance of sharing and caring for one another. And so, the town lived happily ever after, with the memory of the price hike reminding them of the power of unity.
Kids Storybooks. Subscribe.
A pastime adventure. Once upon a time in the whimsical town of Playville, there lived a group of adorable animals who loved spending their days playing games. Squeaky the squirrel, Fluffy the bunny, and Paws the puppy were the best of friends. One sunny afternoon, they gathered at the town's sparkling pond for a pastime adventure. They decided to have a friendly fishing competition. Squeaky brought his tiny fishing rod, Fluffy had a dainty net, and Paws wiggled his tail in excitement. The rules were simple: catch the most colorful fish, but remember to release them back into the water. As they cast their lines, the pond came alive with shimmering fish of all sizes and colors. Squeaky giggled with joy as he caught a bright blue fish, while Fluffy danced with a dazzling orange one. Paws, with his energetic enthusiasm, splashed around and caught a playful polka-dotted fish. Time flew by as they laughed and cheered, and soon the sun began to set. They counted their catches and realized they had all caught an equal number of fish. With smiles on their faces, they gently released the fish back into the pond. As they walked home under the twinkling stars, Squeaky, Fluffy, and Paws knew they had found the perfect pastime, creating happy memories together in the magical town of Playville.
Kids Storybooks. Subscribe.
A zoo expedition. Once upon a sunny day, Emily and her friends, Alex and Lily, embarked on an exciting adventure to the zoo. Their eyes sparkled with anticipation as they walked through the zoo entrance, ready to meet all the fascinating animals. First, they giggled with delight at the playful monkeys swinging from branch to branch. The mischievous chimps even copied the children's silly dance moves. "We have new friends," exclaimed Lily. Next, they tiptoed to the giraffe exhibit, where long-necked giants nibbled leaves from the tallest trees. Emily stretched her arms high, pretending to be a giraffe, while Alex and Lily burst into laughter. In the reptile house, the friends marveled at slithering snakes and colorful chameleons. Emily pretended to be a snake charmer, captivating her friends with a magical dance. The highlight of the day was the lion's den. The mighty lion, with a golden mane, roared proudly. The children imitated the roar, creating a symphony of wild sounds that echoed through the zoo. As the sun began to set, they reluctantly left the zoo, waving goodbye to their newfound animal friends. With tired but happy smiles, they promised to return for more adventures in the magical world of the zoo. And so, with hearts full of joy, the trio headed home, dreaming of the next wild expedition.
Kids Storybooks. Subscribe.
Female education. Once upon a time in the vibrant village of Brightland, there lived a curious and determined little girl named Maya. Maya loved to explore the world around her, but she noticed that many girls in her village didn't have the same opportunities as the boys. Determined to make a change, Maya decided to embark on a special adventure. One day, she discovered an ancient library hidden in the heart of the forest. The wise librarian, Mrs. Maple, welcomed her with open arms. Maya shared her dream of empowering girls through education, and Mrs. Maple handed her a magical book that could transport her to different places. With a leap of faith, Maya found herself in a land where girls and boys studied side by side, where dreams were nurtured and knowledge was celebrated. She returned to Brightland with new ideas and a burning passion. Maya gathered the village children under a big oak tree and shared her magical adventure. Inspired, the children and parents alike decided to build a school where every girl could learn and dream. The school opened its doors, and laughter echoed through the halls. Maya's dream came true, and the village of Brightland shone even brighter with the power of education. From that day forward, every girl in the village had the chance to learn, grow, and become the hero of her own story. And so, the little village became a beacon of hope, thanks to the courage and determination of one little girl named Maya. Thanks for watching.
Kids Storybooks. Subscribe.
The magic fruit of Yumble. Once upon a time in the enchanted land of Yumble, there was a magical fruit named Berrylicious. Berrylicious was no ordinary fruit. It had the power to make anyone who tasted it feel happy and healthy. In a cozy little garden, Berrylicious grew on a special bush tended by a friendly gnome named Grumble. Grumble had a big, bushy beard and a green hat that matched the leaves of Berrylicious. Every day, he would sing a happy tune while watering and caring for his magical fruit. One sunny day, a curious group of animal friends, Benny the bunny, Daisy the duck, and Milo the mouse, discovered the magical garden. Intrigued by the sweet aroma, they decided to taste Berrylicious. As soon as they took a juicy bite, a burst of joy filled their hearts. Benny felt his bunny hops became even bouncier, Daisy's quacks turned into cheerful melodies, and Milo danced with delight. Word spread throughout Yumble, and soon all the children in the land were enjoying the magical powers of Berrylicious. They laughed, played, and shared the tasty fruit with everyone. Berrylicious became a symbol of joy, health, and friendship in Yumble, reminding everyone of the magic that can be found in the simple pleasures of good food and good company. And so, the enchanted land of Yumble lived happily ever after, thanks to the goodness of Berrylicious and the kindness of Grumble the gnome. Thanks for watching. A nutritious adventure. Once upon a time in the colorful town of Happable, there lived a group of lively fruits and vegetables. They were the healthiest residents in town and were known as the superfoods. Each superfood had a unique power that contributed to good health. Broccoli Benny was strong and helped build strong bones. Strawberry Stella was packed with vitamins that boosted energy, and Carrot Charlie had super eyesight powers. Together, they formed a team to teach the kids of Happable about the importance of good health. One day, Halfable faced a challenge when the junk food monsters invaded. These monsters were made of sugary treats and greasy snacks that tempted the children. The superfoods knew they had to act quickly. With their powers combined, the superfoods organized a fun-filled fair where they showcased their abilities. Benny demonstrated his bone-building moves, Stella led the kids in an energetic dance, and Charlie challenged them to a game of Spot the Healthy Snack. The children were amazed and inspired to choose the superfoods over the junk food monsters. The town of Happable became a haven of good health, thanks to the superfoods' efforts. From that day on, the kids in superfoods celebrated their victory with delicious, nutritious snacks, ensuring a happy and healthy future for everyone in Happable. Little Red Hen. Once upon a time, in a cozy farmyard, there lived a little red hen. She was a diligent and hard-working hen who loved to scratch the soil, searching for tasty seeds. One day, as she pecked around, she found some wheat seeds scattered on the ground. Excited, the little red hen had a brilliant idea. She decided to plant the seeds and grow a beautiful wheat field. With determination and care, she worked tirelessly, watering the seeds and protecting them from curious critters. As the days passed, the wheat grew tall and golden. The little red hen felt proud of her efforts. Now, she faced a new challenge, harvesting the wheat. Undeterred, she asked her farmyard friends, the lazy cat, the sleepy dog, and the chatty duck, for help. Each time she asked, they replied, "Not I," and turned away, uninterested in the hard work. The little red hen, undaunted, continued her tasks alone. She harvested the wheat, took it to the mill to be ground into flour, and then baked a delicious loaf of bread. The irresistible aroma of fresh bread wafted through the air, catching the attention of the lazy cat, the sleepy dog, and the chatty duck. Suddenly, they were interested. "I'll help you eat the bread," they exclaimed eagerly, but the little red hen shook her head with a satisfied smile. "No, thank you. I did all the work, and now I'll enjoy the bread all by myself." And with that, she pecked at her tasty bread, savoring the fruits of her hard work. The little red hen's tale taught her friends an important lesson about the value of hard work and responsibility. From that day on, the farmyard friends learned that helping with the work was just as important as enjoying the rewards. And they all lived happily, each contributing to the farmyard in their own way. Thanks for watching. A greedy lion. Once upon a time, in the heart of the jungle, lived a lion named Leo. Leo wasn't like other lions. He was incredibly greedy and always wanted more than he had. One sunny day, Leo discovered a magical wishing well deep in the forest. Excitement sparkled in his eyes as he realized he could ask for anything he desired. But instead of asking for something meaningful, Leo wished for a mountain of sweets. To his surprise, the wishing well granted his wish. A mountain of candies and chocolates appeared before him. Leo couldn't believe his luck and began gobbling up the treats without a second thought. As he indulged in his sugary feast, Leo's friends, the wise old elephant Ella and the playful monkey Max, warned him about the consequences of his greed. Ignoring their advice, Leo continued to devour the sweets, getting greedier with each bite. Soon, the magical wishing well began to shake. It spoke in a booming voice, "Leo, your greed has consequences. If you continue, you'll lose the very thing you wished for." Ignoring the warning, Leo kept eating until the mountain of sweets disappeared. In its place stood a vast desert with no treats in sight. Leo, now sad and regretful, realized the importance of being content and grateful for what he had. From that day on, Leo learned to appreciate the jungle and his friends, understanding that greed only leads to emptiness. And so, Leo became a wiser and more thoughtful lion, sharing and caring for others in the jungle. Thanks for watching.
Kids Storybooks. Subscribe.
The Joyful Journey of Benny. Once upon a time, in the colorful town of Learnsville, there lived a curious little bunny named Benny. Benny loved hopping around and exploring new places, but he didn't understand the importance of education. One day, Benny's wise old friend, Professor Owl, invited him to a magical library filled with books of all shapes and sizes. Professor Owl explained that education was like a treasure chest full of knowledge waiting to be discovered. Benny was hesitant at first, but as he started reading, he found himself transported to different worlds and learning fascinating things. He learned about the stars, the animals in faraway jungles, and the wonders of numbers. As Benny continued his education journey, he realized that knowledge was like a key that opened doors to endless possibilities. With every new piece of information, Benny's world expanded, and he felt more confident. One day, Benny shared his excitement with his friends, and they all joined the adventure of learning together. The once quiet town of Learnsville became a lively hub of curiosity and imagination. And so, Benny and his friends discovered that education wasn't just about books. It was about discovering the wonders of the world, understanding each other, and unlocking their own potential. The little town of Learnsville became a place where dreams were nurtured, all thanks to the magical power of education. Thanks for watching.
Kids Storybooks. Subscribe.
The Haunted Mansion. In the small town of Ravenscroft, a sinister legend echoed through the whispering pines. Locals spoke of a cursed mansion, hidden deep within the woods, where the ghosts of a long-forgotten family lingered. One moonless night, a group of curious teenagers decided to test their courage. Armed with flashlights, they approached the decaying mansion. As they stepped inside, the air turned icy, and shadows danced on the peeling wallpaper. A spine-chilling melody echoed through the halls, a ghostly piano playing a tune from a bygone era. The teens froze, their breaths catching. Whispers filled the air, telling tales of tragedy and despair. The group stumbled upon a forgotten nursery, its walls adorned with faded children's drawings. Suddenly, the temperature plummeted, and the door slammed shut. Panic set in as ethereal figures emerged from the shadows, their eyes hollow and faces twisted in eternal agony. The room echoed with the ghostly laughter of children long gone. Desperation consumed the teens as they tried to escape, but invisible hands pushed them back. The air thickened with sorrow as the spirits closed in. The chilling melody reached a crescendo, drowning out the screams. The following morning, the mansion stood silent, its secrets concealed once more. The townsfolk spoke in hushed tones, warning of the cursed mansion that claimed those who dared to seek its haunting truth. The Little Tree's Legacy. Once upon a time in a magical forest, there was a little tree named Timmy. Timmy was not the tallest tree or the fanciest, but he had a big heart and a special job. He was the keeper of the forest's secrets. One sunny day, Timmy gathered all the forest animals around him. "Listen, my friends," he began, "I have something important to tell you. I may not be the tallest, but I play a crucial role in our home. I am the one who cleans the air we breathe and provides shade on hot days. Without me and my tree friends, our forest wouldn't be the same." The wise old owl, Oliver, hooted in agreement. "Trees are like nature's superheroes," he said. "They give us oxygen, provide homes for animals, and even help prevent floods by absorbing water from the ground." The animals nodded in understanding, realizing how important Timmy and his fellow trees were to their lives. From that day on, the animals decided to take care of the trees just as the trees took care of them. And so, Timmy's message spread throughout the forest, teaching everyone about the importance of trees. They all lived happily ever after, surrounded by the lush greenery and clean air that their beloved trees provided.
Kids' storybooks. Subscribe.
The power of knowledge. Once upon a time in the colorful town of Koreasville, there lived a young girl named Lily. Lily loved to explore and learn new things every day. She had a magical book that could transport her to faraway lands and teach her about the wonders of the world. One sunny day, a mischievous cloud named Grumble stole all the colors from Koreasville, turning it into a dull and dreary place. The townspeople were sad, and no one knew how to bring the colors back. Lily, armed with her magical book, decided to embark on a quest to find the knowledge that could restore the colors to her beloved town. Along her journey, she met wise old owls, friendly dolphins, and playful monkeys, each sharing their knowledge with her. As Lily gathered knowledge, she discovered the secret to bringing back the colors. With the power of understanding, she cast a spell that made the colors dance back into Koreasville. The townspeople cheered with joy, and the once dreary town transformed into a vibrant and lively place again. From that day forward, the people of Koreasville learned that knowledge is power. Lily became the town's hero, and her magical book became a symbol of the importance of learning and curiosity. And so, the colorful adventures of Lily and her magical book continue, inspiring everyone to embrace the power of knowledge.
Kids' storybooks. Subscribe.
Morning magic. Once upon a time in the small town of Sunnyville, a little bunny named Benny woke up with the first rays of the sun. Benny loved going on morning walks with his best friend, Rosie the squirrel. They would meet at the big oak tree every day to start their adventure. As they hopped along the meandering path, the air was filled with the sweet scent of blooming flowers. Benny and Rosie giggled as they played a game of hopscotch with the colorful petals that lined the trail. The sun painted the sky in hues of pink and orange, and the birds overhead sang a cheerful melody. The friends reached the meadow, where dewdrops sparkled like diamonds on the grass. Benny spotted a family of butterflies fluttering about, and Rosie joined in their dance. They twirled and spun, creating a magical spectacle that made the meadow come alive with joy. As they approached the babbling brook, Benny and Rosie saw a family of ducks paddling in the water. Benny couldn't resist joining them for a quick swim, splashing and quacking happily. Rosie, being a clever squirrel, built a tiny boat from fallen leaves and sailed it alongside Benny. The morning walk continued, filled with laughter, discoveries, and the warmth of friendship. Benny and Rosie marveled at the beauty of nature, thankful for the simple joy of a morning stroll together. And so, in Sunnyville, every day began with a magical adventure, as the sun painted the sky and friends like Benny and Rosie made the world a brighter place. magical bond of Timmy and Tommy. Once upon a time in the lively town of Harmonyville, two brothers named Timmy and Tommy lived with their parents in a cozy cottage. Despite being brothers, they were as different as day and night. Timmy, the older brother, loved exploring the enchanted forest that surrounded their home. He was curious and always had a twinkle of adventure in his eyes. On the other hand, Tommy, the younger one, preferred the comfort of their backyard. He enjoyed tending to the colorful flowers and chatting with the friendly butterflies. One sunny day, the brothers decided to embark on a joint adventure. Timmy, with his map and compass, led the way into the magical forest. Tommy, armed with a basket, gathered shiny pebbles, creating a trail to find their way back. As they journeyed deeper, they encountered talking animals, playful fairies, and mischievous elves. Timmy's bravery and Tommy's kindness proved to be a perfect combination. They shared laughter, faced challenges, and, most importantly, discovered the true meaning of teamwork. In the end, Timmy and Tommy realized that even though they were unbreakable. From that day forward, the brothers continued to explore, laugh, and create magical moments in Harmonyville, cherishing the adventures they had together. And so, in the heart of the enchanted forest, the tale of Timmy and Tommy became a beloved story for all the children of Harmonyville.
Kids' storybooks. Subscribe.
The Gift of Ramadan. Once upon a time, in a small town, there lived a little girl named Amina. As the sun began to set and the sky turned into shades of pink and orange, Amina's family gathered together to celebrate Ramadan. During this special month, Amina and her family fasted from sunrise to sunset. Amina eagerly awaited the delicious moment when they could break their fast with dates and sweet water. But Ramadan was not just about food, it was a time for reflection, kindness, and gratitude. Amina and her friends decorated their homes with colorful lanterns, creating a magical atmosphere. They learned about the importance of helping others and sharing what they had. Amina felt a warm glow in her heart as she donated toys to children in need. One night, Amina and her family went to the mosque for a special prayer called Tarawih. The moon smiled down on them as they prayed together, feeling a sense of unity with the entire community. As Ramadan came to an end, Amina felt a mix of sadness and joy. She had learned valuable lessons about compassion, self-discipline, and the joy of giving. With hugs and smiles, Amina and her family celebrated Eid, grateful for the love and togetherness that Ramadan had brought into their lives.
Kids' storybooks. Subscribe.
Lily and Oliver, two best friends. Once upon a time in the whimsical town of Harmony Hills, two best friends named Lily and Oliver lived next door to each other. Lily, a bubbly bunny with soft pink fur, loved to hop around and explore the meadows. Oliver, a clever owl with big, round glasses, enjoyed reading books and solving puzzles. One sunny day, Lily and Oliver decided to embark on a grand adventure. They packed a picnic basket with juicy berries and crunchy carrot sticks and set off into the enchanted forest. As they journeyed deeper, they encountered friendly animals who joined their merry band. The friends reached the heart of the forest, where they discovered a magical clearing filled with sparkling fireflies. Excitement bubbled in their hearts as they danced and laughed, surrounded by the twinkling lights. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm glow on the forest, Lily and Oliver realized that the best part of the adventure was sharing it with each other. They hugged tightly, grateful for their friendship and the enchanting memories they had created. With hearts full of joy, Lily and Oliver returned home, promising to explore more magical moments together. And so, in the charming town of Harmony Hills, the two best friends continued to hop, fly, and giggle through their days, making every moment an unforgettable adventure.
Kids Storybooks. Subscribe.
The Adventures of Postman Pete. Once upon a time, in a small town nestled between rolling hills, there lived a cheerful postman named Pete. Every morning, Pete would load up his trusty bicycle with letters and packages, ready to deliver them to the townsfolk. One sunny morning, as Pete pedaled along his route, he noticed something unusual. A mischievous squirrel was playing with the letters, tossing them into the air. Pete chuckled and gently shooed the squirrel away, collecting the scattered letters. As he continued his rounds, Pete encountered all sorts of adventures. He helped Mrs. Johnson find her lost cat, delivered a birthday card to Timmy with a big smiley face drawn on it, and even stopped to help fix a flat tire for Mr. Smith. But the biggest adventure came when Pete spotted a kite stuck in a tree. Little Sarah was in tears, afraid she'd never see her favorite kite again. Pete, with his trusty ladder, climbed up and rescued the kite, earning cheers from Sarah and her friends. At the end of the day, Pete returned home with a heart full of joy. Being a postman wasn't just about delivering letters, it was about bringing smiles, solving problems, and spreading happiness throughout the town. And so, the adventures of Postman Pete continued, with each day bringing new surprises and stories to tell.
Kids Storybooks. Subscribe.
Red Alert in the Enchanted Forest. Once upon a time, in the heart of the enchanted forest, there lived a community of colorful creatures. Among them was Red Alert, a brave little ladybug with bright red wings and a heart full of courage. Red Alert was known for her keen sense of danger and her ability to alert others when trouble was near. One sunny morning, while Red Alert was fluttering about, she noticed dark clouds gathering in the sky. Sensing danger, she flew swiftly to the center of the forest where all the animals gathered. Red Alert, she cried, her voice ringing out loud and clear. All the animals stopped what they were doing and turned to listen. Red Alert warned them of an impending storm that threatened to sweep through the forest. The animals looked worried, but they knew they could trust Red Alert to lead them to safety. With Red Alert guiding the way, the animals hurried to find shelter. They sought refuge in the sturdy branches of trees and the cozy burrows of the ground dwellers. Red Alert flew from one group to another, making sure everyone was safe and sound. As the storm raged outside, the animals huddled together, grateful for Red Alert's quick thinking and bravery. Despite the howling winds and pounding rain, they felt safe knowing they had each other. When the storm finally passed and the sun emerged once more, the animals emerged from their hiding places, unharmed and grateful. They gathered around Red Alert, thanking her for her timely warning and leadership. From that day on, Red Alert was hailed as a hero in the enchanted forest, respected and admired by all. And whenever danger loomed, the animals knew they could count on Red Alert to sound the alarm and keep them safe.
Storybooks. Subscribe.
Aerial Journey. Natural exploration. Once upon a time, in a little village nestled between rolling hills and lush forests, there lived a curious young girl named Lily. Lily loved nothing more than exploring the wonders of nature around her. One sunny morning, while chasing butterflies in the meadow, Lily spotted a group of birds soaring high above the trees. "Wow, look at them fly," exclaimed Lily, her eyes sparkling with wonder. Intrigued by the graceful birds, Lily decided to learn more about them. She rushed home and grabbed her trusty binoculars and a notebook, ready for an adventure. With a determined stride, Lily set off towards the forest. Deep in the woods, Lily stumbled upon a team of scientists conducting an aerial survey. They were using drones to map the land and study the habitats of the creatures below. "Hello there. What are you doing?" Lily asked, her curiosity piqued. "We're conducting an aerial survey to learn about the animals and plants that call this forest home," explained one of the scientists, smiling warmly at Lily. Excited to help, Lily eagerly joined the scientists. Together, they flew the drones high above the treetops, capturing images of the forest below. They spotted deer grazing peacefully, rabbits hopping through the underbrush, and even a family of foxes playing near a burrow. As the sun began to set, Lily returned home, her heart filled with joy and wonder. She couldn't wait to tell her friends and family about her amazing aerial adventure and the fascinating creatures she had seen. From that day on, Lily knew that there was so much more to discover in the world around her, and she couldn't wait to explore it all. And so, with her binoculars and notebook in hand, Lily continued her adventures, one exciting discovery at a time.
Kids Storybooks. Subscribe.
The Adventures of Timmy and the Magic Treats. Once upon a time in the colorful town of Candylandia, there lived a little boy named Timmy. Timmy loved sweets more than anything else in the world. His favorite place to visit was the magical candy forest, where the trees bore candies of all shapes and flavors. One day, Timmy stumbled upon a mysterious old lady selling magical treats. She warned him, "Remember, everything in excess is bad." Ignoring her advice, Timmy bought a bag full of enchanted candies that never seemed to run out. Excitedly, he ate them all at once. Suddenly, everything started to grow bigger and brighter around him. Trees turned into towering giants, and candies filled the sky like colorful clouds. At first, Timmy thought it was amazing, but soon he realized the consequences. His stomach started to ache, and he couldn't move because he was so full. He cried for help, but no one could hear him amidst the candy chaos. Just when Timmy thought he would be stuck forever, the old lady appeared. With a wave of her wand, she returned everything to normal size. Timmy learned his lesson: too much of a good thing can be harmful. From that day on, Timmy enjoyed his sweets in moderation, and he lived happily ever after, sharing his wisdom with all the children of Candylandia. And whenever he visited the magical candy forest, he remembered the old lady's words: "Everything in excess is bad."
Kids Storybooks. Subscribe.
The Railway Heroes, Tales of Bravery and Friendship. Once upon a time, in a quaint little town nestled among rolling hills, there lived a group of cheerful railway men. These railway men were not your ordinary folks. They were guardians of the tracks, keepers of the trains, and friends to all who traveled through their town. There was old Jack, with his wise gray beard and twinkling eyes. who had been working on the railway since he was a boy. Then there was Billy, the youngest of the bunch, whose enthusiasm for trains was infectious. And let's not forget Sam, the jolly cook who made the tastiest sandwiches for the train passengers. Every day, rain or shine, the railway men would gather at the station, ready to greet the trains that chugged into town. They would wave to the passengers, help them with their bags, and make sure everyone felt welcome. One day, a big storm swept through the town, causing chaos and flooding the tracks. The railway men sprang into action, working tirelessly to clear debris and repair the damage. With teamwork and determination, they managed to get the trains running again, saving the day and earning the admiration of the entire town. From that day on, the railway men were hailed as heroes, their bravery and kindness remembered by all. And as the trains continued to roll through their town, the railway men stood tall, knowing that they were the true guardians of the railway, always ready to lend a helping hand to those in need.
Kids, storybooks. Subscribe. The Proud Lion. Once upon a time in the vast savannah, there lived a proud lion named Leo. Leo had the most magnificent mane in all the land, golden and fluffy, which he loved to show off. Every day, he would stroll through the grasslands, roaring proudly, "Look at me, I am the king of the jungle." One sunny morning, Leo noticed a little mouse named Mia struggling to lift a heavy acorn. Leo laughed and said, "Why do you even bother? You're so small." Mia looked up, her tiny eyes shimmering. "I may be small, but I can be helpful too." Curious, Leo followed her as she scampered to her friends. Together, they worked to gather food for the upcoming rainy season. They invited Leo to help, but he refused, thinking he was too important for such tasks. Days passed, and the rain came. Leo found himself hungry and alone as the storms washed away his usual meals. Suddenly, he heard a familiar sound, the cheerful chattering of Mia and her friends, who had gathered food and built a cozy shelter. Feeling ashamed, Leo approached them and said, "I'm sorry I was proud. Can I join you?" Mia smiled. "Of course. Everyone can help in their own way." From that day on, Leo learned the value of teamwork and friendship.
The Magical Garden of Giggles. Once upon a time in the cozy town of Willowbrook, there was a little girl named Lily. Lily was a curious child, always exploring her surroundings and asking endless questions. She lived with her grandma, who loved telling her stories, especially one about a magical garden hidden